Radio. Wrestling podcast featuring Ramen Bomber and Rab and the one and only Peanut. Woo! Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Bitches.
The red title versus the black title.
Oh, racist.
I'm just saying.
Whoa! Fucking idiots.
Hey now, hey.
People are just gonna shit all over you, Bomber. It's gonna be a fucking massacre in the comments, I think.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Jobber Radio. We're just gonna get right out there. We're just gonna say this is not your average Jobber Radio. First of all, we have 5 people on the show. Let's get to that first. I'm Jake, aka Bomber, and we're just gonna go around the little Skype call here. I'm gonna start off with Scott. What's going on? How you doing, man?
Well, Trudeau's pretty good, but I don't know what you guys did a thing down there. I'm all right, but you guys did a bad thing. Oh, you guys did a thing down there.
Yes.
And there we go, Matt Zion. I guess we'll find out pretty soon. But how are you doing?
Oh, absolutely abysmal. Abysmal.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like a family member died. Like that's how depressed I've been over the past.
Yeah,
few
her
days.
name was America.
Yeah.
And we actually have Lee here. He made it to the show, guys. Lee is here today. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Sorry, the circumstances for my American brothers and sisters down south is not quite as good for, well, at least hopefully most of you. But yeah, my condolences, and hopefully things will get better before they get worse.
Yeah, they had a good run.
It was a good run. We got a couple years out of America, so it worked out. And of course, we haven't heard a single peep from him yet. Rab is here.
No, hold on. No, Rab, get out of here. Come on, you're not allowed.
Not allowed to
Start
be here.
building that wall. Pay for it and build it.
I'm not Mexican.
Doesn't matter, bro. You're all Mexican.
Here's the worst part. So and this is one of the reasons I almost missed the show, because I started my vacation today. Today was my last day of work, and I start vacation tomorrow. And I swear to God, going to Mexico. And I hope I can get back in afterwards.
No, they're gonna make you build a wall.
Obama's still in charge for 2 months, so hopefully, I can still get in for a couple. When we, at the end of the week.
That's legit. You're going to Mexico for vacation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow,
No,
that's cool.
you see, I disagree, Matt.
He's
Brad
scouting
can
property.
actually talk because he's a man. He's not a woman, so he can actually still talk.
Oh, you have some rights.
All right,
Exactly, right.
So let me just break it down and just let you know, if you are here today to hear about wrestling, probably not going to happen. And the bad thing is, there's a lot going on.
We will talk about wrestling. We're not going to talk about this shit for.
I don't know about that.
Well,
I literally have followed the product.
I'm sure,
so.
like Scott said, he's got some things to compare to wrestling, but I'm sure we'll mention some things. But the bad thing is, there is a lot going on right now. We didn't even review the Hell in a Cell that just happened with the history in the making main event. But
we can do that. We can do that at some point.
That's true. But
The dislikes are unbelievable at the moment. I'm already calling
yes,
it.
I know.
Yeah,
We-
5 people. Who?
We are going to talk about the 2016 presidential election. It just happened 2 days ago. We're recording this on a Thursday, so this literally happened 2 days ago. This is it's pretty fresh. And I guess this is why I wanted Lee in here. I wanted Scott in here. I'm glad we got Rab and Matt Zion and myself, because we have a good we got some good diversity here. We got 2 hardcore, I guess I would call you guys hardcore Democrats, right? Are you guys hardcore?
Oh no, not I'm a Democrat. I'm a liberal at heart. So I would have voted for Jill Stein if Trump wasn't such a fucking nightmare.
I would have never voted for Jill Stein.
That sounds like a bad idea.
But I'm very liberal.
Okay.
There you go. So you have 2 separate sides.
But I don't think Jill Stein actually is liberal.
Okay.
I think she's just someone who really, really, really likes the spotlight.
And
I really like her party though. So.
And I have always been a Republican throughout my lifetime of knowing what kind of goes on. Obviously, I don't know everything that goes on, but and we have Lee and Scott, who are outsiders. We got outsiders.
We're
from
taking
north.
over.
The Canadians up top. So it's going to be good to hear from their side, seeing how they're not actually immediately impacted. Not.
Yes, they are.
I mean, they are, but not. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. They are impacted, obviously, but I think
nobody's safe.
I think everybody's impacted. Yeah. But so I like how we got a diverse group. Where do you guys really want to start here? Because we have so much that we can cover.
Can I just throw out the wrestling connection real quick?
Throw that out, so at least we get some wrestling in here.
What happened is we all want to cheer for Daniel Bryan, but they really wanted Roman Reigns, so they did that. Okay. And then they went and put Brock Lesnar out there and just played by his own rules and fucked it all up.
Are you trying to get me in trouble already? Because I was the guy.
And now you're going to want to be able to cheer for Bernie again because Bryan again, and he could have been the one, but he's all injured and fucked up, and he won't be able to run anymore. It's all ruined, and now you got Brock. And all he does is imitations of his own matches. And election, hold on, Trump.
That's a perfect...
I'm done.
That's perfect.
And I'll let Rami go first.
I want to say something. I wanted to say this right off the top, though. No matter what is said here, I don't want anybody to get mad at anybody, okay? I want us to be not hating each other, because I know some things get heated, of course, because you know how the way it is.
Are you trying to say that you voted for Trump?
I'm just trying to say that I don't want anybody to get mad at anybody.
Because that means you voted for Trump.
That means you voted for Trump.
That's the argument. I don't want any problems.
No. I just wanted to point that out.
Everybody's saying.
We've all.
By the way, I have to dispel something real quick. The Rock is a registered Republican. That's the end of that dream.
How'd you find that?
There you go. That's where.
I just saw a post I put on
Washington Post. Yeah,
he's considering running.
Oh.
He's considering. Well, he said that he's considering sometime in the future, but he doesn't. He has things he wants to do.
I mean, clearly anyone can run now, right?
Yeah.
Well,
apparently.
If he's Republican, though, he won't be able to run for potentially 8 years because Trump will go for re-election.
Hey,
well,
he
will be a much better age at 8 years from now than he would 4 years from now. It's great.
Through 8 years of Trump.
Look. We all laughed at Kanye, when he said he was going to run in 2020. But
I still laugh at Kanye now.
Yep, I'll vote for him. On the record, I will vote for Kanye West over Donald Trump.
Oh, you just threw all your credibility out.
Wow.
I don't give
I
will vote for a young child being smothered to death by Chris Pepper.
No.
For Donald Trump.
No, you're not even fucking joking now about the dislikes. That as soon as you said that bullshit about Kanye, that obviously.
I don't.
Yeah.
No, he's running.
Literally don't care.
Well, yeah, Kanye said he was going to run in 2020.
Yeah.
Like he said this a year ago.
Do it, Kanye. I hate everything about you, but I hate everything about Trump way more. So let's go for it.
No,
yep.
If you think things are bad now, no. Well, first of all,
you have no idea.
They're not bad now.
I can tell you an example why Kanye running as a different party would be better than Trump right now. Because Trump right now isn't the problem. The problem is the Republicans have 100% power, and they can do anything they fucking want without anybody really checking. Balancing them, other than a potential filibuster from the Democrats, where they've come out and said, "Oh, we're not going to step in their way though and do that because we're taking the higher road." Yeah,
gets nothing done.
Well, if that's the case, then why would you still vote Kanye over Trump then? If it's not Trump,
if Kanye beat him, then his party would have a way to veto stupid decisions made by the Republican Party. That's why. That's the only reason. I don't trust Kanye in any way, shape, or form. But having a party that has a majority over our entire government is not good for anyone on any party. I don't even want the Democrats to have that. And I side with the Democrats on almost everything. But putting all your eggs in one basket, especially when it's like people's lives, is a terrible decision. But that's the way it worked out. Awesome.
Considering most of the states and most of the votes were like 49.8 to 49.7, shit like that. And then half the country didn't even vote on top of that. You've got a lot of unspokenness and very close calls. None of that's good. You can't just have it go, it's going to be this way, when the other half literally doesn't like it.
Yeah. I mean, like, overall, the whole, like, I've said this when we were talking before we did the call, but, like, my overall belief is I don't have a problem with people, with conservatives in the slightest. I think you're allowed to have every right to feel whatever you want. That's great. I will fight for everybody's reason to be a dumbass for all they want, or if you're like religious, I'm not religious, but I will fight for your right to be religious. But the problem is with liberals, a liberal's not telling you don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. They're just saying, hey, don't stop other people from doing what they want to do. But conservatives universally fight for, you're going to live the way we want you to live because that's moral. No thank you. No fucking.
Are you saying you'll fight for the right of every man? Are you a real American?
Thank you for putting into wrestling.
He's trying as hard
I thought you were going to actually say it
as hard as he can. I love it.
That was actually happening.
I can't fathom the logic of, hey, I think that this is wrong, and so you are going to change everything that you think is right in order to make me happy, because that's not being free. That's just living under tyranny for the most part. You're just doing what one person is going to force you to do. I don't like that.
That mentality is, I don't like this TV show, it shouldn't be broadcast. No, it's called change the channel. That's what that mentality is.
No, I can't do that. You just need to take it off and stop watching.
It shouldn't exist. It offends me.
I mean, you don't even just see that with the conservatives. You see that on the very extreme of the left as well. Exact same fucking mentality, just a different side of the spectrum.
Now, how about we look at, well, first of all, Rab, your state went red, Florida. My state, North Carolina, as well went red. Zion,
those are two different things that happened there.
Oh, I live in the most liberal state.
I was about to say, your state was like, what, 80? Like, I heard like 80% or something.
Yeah, she crushed him here, and that was not
He lost his own home state, by the way.
I mean, I'd like to... There's something that happened. You know, we most people went into it thinking Hillary was going to win, and she didn't. And there's a really good reason for that. And I think a lot of people are looking at it in a way that is too polarizing, which is the problem in the first place. The idea that everyone who voted for Trump is a racist, or everyone who voted for Trump is someone who wants to, hold everyone else down, is wrong. You can't win an election that way, and that's why we thought Trump wasn't going to win. But what we missed was that there were all these people in the Rust Belt. This is why we lost. It wasn't because of Florida. It was because of Michigan and Wisconsin and Ohio and Pennsylvania. There are these people in these small towns in what they call working class people that we kind of forgot about. And we didn't think they'd show up to vote, and they did. And that's on the Democratic Party as much as it's on anyone. Because there was only one person speaking to those people, and that person was Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was too much voter apathy on the Democrat side, where people just assumed Hillary was going to win, so they didn't even bother voting for her. I don't
think that's true. I think that just there wasn't voter apathy on it. It's not on the other side, because these are people who voted for Obama. These are people who voted for Barack Obama 4 years ago and 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. But they felt let down, and there was only one person speaking to them, speaking to their problems in their small towns, and losing these manufacturing jobs, their kids having to move out of state, and their towns getting smaller, and having to move somewhere else.
Yeah, why continue with that party when the other guy's talking to you?
There was only one person. The Democratic Party tried to, they thought, and I thought it was going to work too, on a coalition of just minorities and liberals. If we get just all the Hispanics and all the black people and college age, and we can take over, we can go past white people. And it didn't happen because they forgot about them. And I'm included in that. We forgot about these people with real problems, and only one person was speaking to them. If you were them, yes, I mean, you would say, yeah, maybe they should take the high road, though, and, don't like Trump for all the terrible things he said. But on the other hand, no one else is even talking about helping them out. Only one person was talking about even helping them. That's the problem. Very early on in the night, they had James Carville on, who, of course, ran the campaign for Bill Clinton. And remember, Bill Clinton is one of those working-class white people out of Arkansas. He grew up incredibly poor. He grew up, his father died before he was born, and he had a stepfather, and he had a terrible childhood. He was one of those people. And James Carville, this was like at 8:10, was talking about how unhappy Bill Clinton was at the fact that his party was no longer the party of these people, because they used to be. And the Democratic Party ran away from that, and it came back to bite them in the ass this time.
Yep.
Yes, there are a lot of racists that voted for Trump. And yes, there are a lot of people who are these, hardline social conservatives. But that's not what got him elected. What got him elected were these these people in the Rust Belt whose cities have been disappearing. I'm not talking about in Detroit and wherever, where he's talking about silly falling. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about small towns, just regular working class people who their jobs are gone, and we've been telling them, myself included, yeah, okay, fine, but those are the jobs of the past, and move on. But in retrospect, that's kind of a fucked up thing. It's a way of life they've had for 100 years, and we forgot about them. And they came. There was one guy talking to help them, and that's the one they picked. It makes a lot of sense. It's what you would do in that same position. If only one person was trying to talk to you, that's the person you would pick. That's why Hillary lost.
Yeah, she ran on a campaign of me. It was the I'm with her, and he ran on a campaign of make America great again, like with me. It wasn't, he didn't run on it about him, which is really ironic because if you really look into what they were running for, he was really running on a campaign for him, but he hid it as a campaign for us. And with her, even though it was going to benefit her greatly, don't get me wrong, she is just as corrupt as he is in every way, shape, or form. My argument was always that she would just actually be able to do a good job, and I don't think he's going to do a good job at all. But she didn't unify anybody. Like she was just trying to do she played the women card. I completely think she did, but I think she was right to do so.
She tried to unify everyone except for the white people.
Yeah, she was trying too hard to take the base that didn't come out to vote.
And I say this as I'm the only Hispanic on the podcast. I'm the only person on this podcast who has experienced racism.
I'm Filipino.
You're not.
I'll actually comment on that when you're done. Go ahead.
I'm the only person here who's been in a small town and seen the looks, of I'm not supposed to be there.
I've seen those looks at different places here and there.
Not like this.
It's
not the same.
Not because of my race, though.
It's sad and it's scary, and this gives voice to a lot of that. But we also have to contend with the fact that there's a lot of people for reasons besides that who are just trying to get some help, man. And the Democratic Party did them a disservice. Mm-hmm. And that's how this happened. This isn't, a lot of people are saying, oh, I didn't, I can't believe, my country is this full of racists. It's not. He won because of people who voted for Barack Obama.
Well, how do you feel about all those people that are doing nothing but saying it's all about racism?
I think they're also making the problem worse. I think when you're trying, I think you're polarizing this country, and that's the worst part. That's the worst thing that's been happening in this country.
Yeah,
there's the fear about the whole "Make America Great Again" means take it back to the old boy network, and that's not good for anybody either. Even if it's not true, the perception gets to be damaging.
Well, the fact that they're talking about racists and stuff like that, the fact that becomes a sort of a buzz topic in the media now, you start seeing more of them getting braver and coming out of the fucking woodworks where all these fucking, like the fucking KKK doing patrols now in some people's neighborhoods.
Yep.
When's the last time you've seen the KKK do anything but a silly march down the street and get laughed at?
I've never seen that period, but
West Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, Alabama. It's not a fake thing. That's a thing that still happens. I know
they're still around, but
no, it happened on election night to a friend of mine. Saw them patrolling in their town.
Yeah, but I'm arguing that before this really became brought up because of the election, their numbers are so diminished that they weren't really a thing.
I mean, I agree that it gives voice to it.
It's they're vindicated. Is the problem. They're vindicated because they see the guy who's now president ran on racism, hate, and fear, and it worked. And so basically, they can sit there and go, well, we're right then because we're based off of racism, fear, and hate. And so now they're walking a little bit prouder, a little bit higher, and they're not. This is what he did though, is he did take people's fears and he made it okay for you to, instead of kind of just keeping it to yourself and worrying, he gave people a voice that now they can openly walk around and tell somebody to go fuck themselves when Before, it's like, to be a human being. And unfortunately, now this is the way it is. Like I was saying off camera, off recording, that one of my biggest fears of this whole thing is the fact that it's completely changed the way elections are going to go from now on. We're not going to get politicians anymore, because if they throw politicians out there, they're just going to lose. That's a losing dinosaur way of winning elections now. And now you're going to get people that are over the top. It's going to be about entertainment rather than policy and change and helping people. It's going to be who can say the most ridiculous things and who can, not to sound like a weirdo, but trump their opponent. I think it's gone.
I think whether or not that's true has a lot to do with what the next 4 years is. If the next 4 years everything falls apart, then you can't do that anymore. To an extent.
Or it will go back and forth like every 4 years. Like you'll get the guy who comes in and says, "Look at what he did. He was a disaster," and he runs more of a classic campaign. But then in 4 years after that, you're going to get the guy that comes along, and basically you're replacing the old Democrat switching with the Republican back and forth with asshole versus nice person.
But you have to remember, this is all run by politicians who are shady as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you got
they will learn their lessons from this to make it harder for this kind of thing to happen in the first place.
I was going to say that this, I think, you've got this system in the Electoral College for all this time, and he's coming in, gaming it better than anyone ever has from his business background, showing them he's gaming it, and still having it work. I have the feeling that they're going to try to do everything they can to make sure this doesn't happen again.
They could have stopped it. The Republicans could have stopped it in the first place, but they all got greedy and all thought, no, there's no way that it's going to happen, or it will take care of itself. Let's just fight between ourselves, figure out, and one of us will be the guy. And that's not what happened. They fought amongst themselves. And then
everyone thought he was a joke.
Remember, most people did not vote for Donald Trump in the primaries. Even in the primaries, most people didn't vote for Donald Trump.
They just voted where it counted in the places that it counted.
They the problem was you got 40% voting for Donald Trump because he's the outsider, and then you got 7 other dudes taking all the other percentages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's splitting the vote.
If they had just in February, gotten together and hey, okay, let's pick the guy, which is the way it would have been back in the day. But everyone's gotten so, the Tea Party thinks they can do whatever they want, so Cruz wouldn't move. Kasich was the one guy who was like, hey, I'm trying to do this the way it's supposed to be done because he's an old school politician. Marco Rubio skipped his place in line, and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to learn their lessons from this. Remember, politicians have no reason for them wanting to have this happen, and they're still in charge of the way it works. Yep. There's a bunch of politicians who want to be president someday. Mm-hmm. So the idea that you can't be a politician and become president someday because you would have a platform that they can attack you on and the other person wouldn't, they're going to stop that because they want to be president.
Well, we'll see. I still think it's up in the air because I still think he has completely changed the type of person that people want in the office. And again, I think you're right in that, if he's a total disaster, which I think he will be, then maybe it'll go back to the old ways. But I can't see, because this was unfathomable. The way he ran was unheard of. Any other person on the planet ran like he did, and they would have never made it even remotely close to getting the seat. But God, he is going to do some damage that just can't be reversed. He's going to do things that it's going to take more than our lifetime to fix with the full control. Again, he's not the problem. I really don't think he is the problem.
No.
It's the fact that our government is now being run by a bunch of religious people that don't respect the fact that half the country is not religious like they are. And they are going to do some unbelievable damage.
Well, honestly, I think, for one thing, for healthcare, I know that's a big, it's a big deal for you specifically.
Right now.
I don't think that's going to disappear in the way a lot of people do. You have to remember, these people do have to run for Congress again in 2 years. And the one thing that Republicans they've understood is it's a really good way to get fired by taking things away from people.
They were trying to get rid of it months ago.
No, they want
all the time.
They say, hey, we're going to repeal Obamacare and replace with something better. But they also know they have to run in 2 years.
No, but they literally tried just months ago.
Saying and doing are two. It's easy to say you're going to do something. You don't think you can do it.
They literally got shot down. They weren't just saying it. They got shot down.
But they knew they couldn't do it. Of course, they got shot down. It's
yeah, but
easy
now
to
they
say.
can.
Yes, but
That's
now
the
they
fear.
can't. You don't understand. But now they actually can't. When they try and they fail, they can go, see, there's Obama ruining our fucking country some more.
Oh, here's an example.
That's just part of the show.
I agree with that. That was all posturing.
There was at no point would they have been able to do it, but they kept doing it. Knowing full well there was no way to do it.
I do have an example though. They are going to defund Planned Parenthood and take it down. Like that's
probably going to happen.
So they are taking it away. So your argument of it's all just posturing. It's not. Like they are going to take that away. They're going to take away the ability for low income people to gain abortions or even just gain.
You got to remember that's not people they care about.
But those are the ones that voted Trump in. your argument was they're the ones that voted him in. If they don't care about them, then they don't care about winning the.
They don't really use Planned Parenthood that much.
Yeah, but a lot of people fucking do.
I know a lot of people do, and those are people that they aren't getting their votes anyways.
They did. It was the
But the regular people do use the Affordable Care Act, the ACA. I drive through Texas, and all these people using Obamacare. Here in Miami, they call it Obamacare. And I go through Texas, they call it the ACA because they don't want to put Obama's name on it.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you.
I think Obamacare here.
I think you're underestimating the fact that it's been a while since they've had majority, and that they're going to run roughshod and do whatever they feel like.
And I think they don't want to do that.
I think that
I agree that they can do whatever they want, but I think you're underestimating how much I think you're underestimating how much the one thing a congressman wants is his seat.
I think it's going to snowball quicker than they expect, and they're going to we actually can.
I don't think that they think that the Democrats are a threat anymore. I think that they red wedding to them pretty badly to the point where they've destroyed. You heard who the early rumor for the Democratic nominee for the 2020 election is, right? Tim Kaine, which is fucking laughable at best. That means that they haven't learned anything if they try to put him through.
I mean, that's so far away. I even saw that Bernie might even go again, which he'll probably.
He's 75.
I know. I'm just saying, I wouldn't read into anything that you see right at this. It's definitely at this point in time.
It doesn't surprise me if they end up going with an establishment candidate because that means they haven't learned their fucking lesson yet. That they need to win somebody that's at least way more of a leftist than a Democrat Republican, because Hillary was essentially a very conservative Democrat, and that's another reason she lost, because she was just throwing around the same old shit. She didn't try to change anything up, and then you had this guy over here that was saying, "Hey, I'm going to save your world." Of course, dumbasses are gonna go for him like that. And the problem is, in 6 months to a year, I mean, they're gonna turn on him. That's just a matter of time, because as Rab said, a lot of these people that voted for
everybody's a dumbass that voted for him. I'm sure.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of them were misinformed. Is that a better word for it? Like that instead, they didn't bother looking into any facts as to what he was for or what he was really going to do, and they just voted with their. So a lot of these people were people that voted for Obama, though. Like Rab said, I agree. I think a lot of people ended up getting basically they thought Obama was going to do things for him, and he didn't, and so they went with Trump. Can you imagine the difference? The difference in ideology between Donald Trump and Obama is unbelievable. And if you didn't look into that, at least do some research on it, because almost everybody I've debated with on this subject just went, well, Trump's less corrupt, so I went with him. Trump is so fucking corrupt. You have no idea. Like, that's not an argument to vote for.
Sure, I don't know.
It also is, like you said, where they showed up, because I remember even in high school, we had different parties showing up to talk to us, and only the Green Party actually showed up. So we're like, all right. They showed up. They care, and the Green Party's like a nothing party comparatively.
I feel bad for Gary Johnson too, because even though
it's one of those, right?
Gary Johnson, I don't agree with. I think he's not really sharing what I want. But
Gary Johnson's an asshole.
Yeah, of course. But I wanted him to get the 5%. I wanted him to get the federal funding. I wanted there to be options, and these people who didn't vote, that even like Old Man Tom on the cast didn't vote, and I tried to convince. I'm like, vote for a third party. Do something.
Why?
And he would.
What
He's
was
like,
his reason?
He was too lazy to look into the research, and so he didn't want to vote for him.
But at least he didn't just throw it at something.
But I mean,
you did the research for him, so he could have.
If you really want other options and you didn't vote, then you don't want other options, because everybody could have easily gotten him to 5% and at least had a third party that had a chance to do something. They're not going to win, obviously, but a chance to at least throw another opinion out there in 4 years. And so, no, those people who, if you didn't vote, because you were like, oh, it's two system thing, it's rigged, and I'm not going to vote, then you fucking don't care and you don't want more options because you didn't bother giving the little guys a chance to be an option.
So there was a big deal going on with Colin Kaepernick, a football player, if you guys don't know who that is. Football player who's been super big on a lot of stuff going on lately. He's the one that like kneels during the national anthem and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he said that he did not vote, and now everybody's like giving him hardcore backlash. But now my question is, obviously, yeah, it is good to vote, but what about like what is?
If you don't like any of the candidates, don't pick the least bad one.
But
don't vote.
But it is also completely your decision not to vote.
So he would have Kaepernick would have been voting in California. Rami, would you like to tell me how many items, how many propositions, how many things were to vote in California?
This was the most. I think we had 19. It was the biggest that we've had in like 15 years or something.
The California voter guide is the biggest voter guide in the history of the United States. Mm-hmm. There was so much to vote for, including 3 items that had to do with like a crime and stuff.
The death penalty was, there was 2 of them that contradicted each other directly. Yeah,
it's easy to forget
a lot of things
that
are essential. There's a lot of things that are essential to the Black Lives Matter movement that were on the ballot. Sure. So by saying, I'm not going to vote because it doesn't matter, is nonsense. 100% nonsense. When there's things that matter to what he supposedly, is doing all this for.
That's what I'm saying. It's easy to forget that there's more than just the presidency at stake.
Sure,
there's a lot more.
There was a huge thing here. We had the whole the governor race here, the McCrory and Cooper here, the whole HB2 shit. That's big, almost as big as the presidency run here in North Carolina. That's the big, and it's so close that a decision hasn't been made. There hasn't been a clear winner yet.
Man, everything seemed really, really close, which is going to make it, like they always say, everybody needs to heal. I'm like, well, you're in for a fucking ride because there's no healing that's going to be taking place anytime soon. It was literally a split down the middle on the votes. Like what did she have? 200,000 more than him on the popular?
Something.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Those lines?
Yeah.
Oh man, when I saw that, I went. All right, well there goes your
4 to 46.6.
Yeah, I was like, there goes your healing, because now they have an argument that she won the popular vote,
yes,
but like that means nothing.
I know,
but God, it's just hate it.
It's always sucked. It sucks the way it goes down. Whoever gets the most votes doesn't always necessarily win.
That's the 5th time that's happened, I think.
I've been one that I've always not like that at all. And now it happened, and what do you know? It's nothing but it sucks, but it's fueling the fire. It's fueling the fire really that's going on.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I actually don't think the Electoral College is the worst. Obviously, there's been times where it hasn't worked. Sure. But I mean, that's our setup. That's the way it is. I'm fine with dealing with it. But I'm just saying, when I saw the popular vote, I went, there's no healing that's going to be taking place here. They have another reason to say, well, fuck him. I mean, our person didn't lose.
10 times worse.
And so, 10 times worse. I was actually hoping that he won the popular vote, because then at the very least, he would have an argument. But now his argument has been cut in half, like almost
literally.
Yeah.
It's just weird for us Canadians to see your election process where it drags out for, honestly, it even drags out for like a couple years beforehand if you're honest about it, and where ours is one and done in a month.
Our last one was a total of 72 days, and that's the longest one, I think, by over a month.
Yeah,
and that was long after Trump declared he was going to run, and before he was the candidate for the Republicans. Ours had started and finished, and we had Trudeau.
I mean, but you have a completely different system. Trudeau doesn't have the power that Trump is going to have.
No, but it's still the leader of the country.
But everyone at one point can go, we don't like that guy. Well, fuck it. Tear it all up. Start over.
I was going to say, there is the vote of non-confidence, which usually ends up with the guy getting voted out, because we Canadians vote leaders out. We don't often vote them in. We get rid of Harper. We get rid of Martin. We get rid of them. We don't vote them in. So yeah,
it's a completely different system. I mean, it's slightly unfair to
The thing that really sucks is the whole how big the racism is such a big deal here in North Carolina. At my station, we on my station's Facebook page, we'll post an article. It'll be about like a great story, and nobody will give a shit, obviously. And one little thing that mentions something about the election, and there's 800 comments, and you won't believe. There are so many racist comments. There are on both sides, of course, but people, I can't believe how easily and how fast they just jump out there and just love to just be so fucking toxic. It's super disgusting.
And they're not all.
I'm sure we can all believe it just fine.
Oh yeah, well,
in North Carolina, it's. I don't know if I won't say.
No, it's everywhere, dude. Go to any any web page that's like a news source, a news web page, and articles. If they have comments under the articles, you're going to see racist shit. You're going to see sexist shit. You're just going to see general hate because it's just.
It's a media.
Guys, look at the reckless eating comments.
I will. Yeah. I will be
no negative, guys, but
if there is not at least one racist comment on this.
Oh no! It's going to be a war. It's going to be a war. I already know that.
Anyway, if this was all Hell in a Cell talk, let alone.
I'm going to put in the title. I'm going to put like political talk as our subject matter, and then I'm going to put trigger warning.
Trigger warning. Instead of vomit warning, trigger warning.
The whole
trigger alert.
Trigger alert. There you go. Trigger alert. Yeah.
Trigger warning. Canadians on this podcast.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing with the Canada stuff, like I'm here in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and it's northwestern Ontario, so. There's a lot of natives, Indians around. So much so the city, 100,000 people, it's about 60% native in some areas. And as a white guy coming from Muskoka down near Toronto, it's just all white people. Coming up here, I've had people tell me, you need to be wary of native people because they're racist against whites. I'm like, what? No. Yeah, kind of they are. And you literally see it, and it's frightening. Just who you are because of what it is, and you start thinking race and back and forth, and oh god, the whole thing with Trump, I've seen it already. People saying, "Oh, fuck white males, they're horrible. They let this happen." It's like, whoa, hold on, no. Now it's fostering hate.
Yeah, they did though. They really did. You shouldn't hate
here's the problem: all white males are being targeted by the minorities when they weren't involved in it, and everybody hates everybody, which is bad for everybody.
For the record, they were definitely involved in it.
Sure.
Whether or not they should be targeted for that reason is
let's see. So you target Matt then because he's a white male.
No, I'm not targeting.
No, but that's what I mean. That's the ridiculousness of it because he would be targeted.
The ones that voted for him did give it to him though. I mean, like the white male base and female base.
They secured it. The young boys wanted their old boy network back. I understand it. I agree. But literally, Matt being a white guy in California. Voting against Trump would still be targeted just by being a white guy.
Different thing.
Yeah, and it sucks. It sucks. Like
it's hatred everywhere. It's bad.
It does. I mean, and nobody is helping. Because here's the thing that I see that's so ironic. Because on my Facebook page, I thought I was going to see, because I have a lot of Trump supporters, I have a lot of Hillary supporters and Bernie supporters, whatever. I thought I was going to see right after it, everybody blow up. Yes, Trump's the winner. Trump wins. Yes, Trump. Yeah, fuck everybody else. Fuck this. No, I literally, for my entire work shift, I had one person pro-Trump. It was hilarious. One fucking person on my entire feed. Everyone else, including Matt Zion, everyone else was firebombing the entire world on fucking everything's racist. All these white people suck. Everyone.
I never said it was racist. By the way,
not that part.
I think my comments have been very nuanced and.
Sure, I agree. And the thing is, this is what I find super ironic about it. It's the whole love Trump's hate, and Trump's whole thing has been ran on hate and all this. But holy fuck, I have never seen so much hate in my life from all these people that were supporting Hillary. Not every single person, but overall, I've never seen so much hate. Well, that's the ironic thing about it.
It's funny. I've heard that from a few Republicans, and I don't know where you guys were 4 and 8 years ago. Yeah, were you underground when Romney and McCain lost maybe you were depressed and you went into a bunker. Where were you? There was one girl who has now defriended me from Facebook.
No.
Put exactly what you said into a comment.
There's a difference.
And I was like,
there's a difference.
I remember. No.
There is.
I'm like, I remember exactly what this woman was putting on Facebook 4 and 8 years ago. So what did I do? I went back into her timeline and started just posting her own comments into her comment. And she has since defriended me.
No.
Well, I mean, you attacked her on that one. I don't blame her.
Yeah. But no. Here's
I was just putting her comments into her own comment about how
like reality,
I can't believe this.
You totally.
I'm curious what
Jake's
argument is.
No,
I mean, are any of the Republicans really surprised? Because this is what happens when you get Vince Russo booking your fucking party.
No. See, look. Here's what the difference is. The difference is between that scenario and this scenario, is that the whole Hillary thing has been built around love trumping hate, and how it wasn't like that's not the whole branding behind everything. This whole thing has been, we are so civil, we are so classy, we are not about hate, we are not about this. But now they're burning flags.
But that lost. So if this is like saying that my life's work is on one subject, and then I look at it, the biggest loss I've ever had in my entire life on my life's work, I'm going to be pretty fucking emotional and angry about it. And I saw this argument, and some people were like, oh, look at those liberals out there like burning flags and being
sore
violent.
losers, I heard.
Now,
You know for a fact that his followers, if he had lost, would be out there doing, I would argue, way worse things.
I disagree with that.
Threatening people's
I
lives.
disagree with that.
They would be at least even. They'd be saying, "Not my president."
With which one?
Them calling for bloodshed or hinting that she should be shot and dealt with by Second Amendment people. They definitely been nonviolent. They
were threatening it before they won.
Yes.
No.
Yep.
I disagree that they'd be doing that. They would be out burning flags. I guarantee. No. I
know, but none of the people were saying we were going to use bloodshed.
They wouldn't be burning flags, I guess.
No, they wouldn't.
Burning crosses on lawns,
yes, they'd be burning other stuff just because they like the flag.
That's back to the racism.
And my flag, I'm a big fan of the flag as well. Mine was flying outside my house until tonight. I put it out on election day, and I just brought it in tonight, but only because I'm leaving, or else I'd leave it out.
Sure.
Yes, they wouldn't burn flag, but they do other terrible shit. Assuming I hold them to their word, and they'd be doing other terrible shit. I know that because they kept saying they were going to do other terrible shit. This is what I'm basing it on.
Look how Trump was running things. He's like saying if he lost the vote, he said he wasn't going to accept it, and he was building these people up to a fever pitch.
He said he may not accept it. He said he may not accept it.
No, come on.
No,
now.
he said he wasn't.
He said
I will accept it if I win. Sure enough, he did. So
Bomber, I may not have sex with your mother. I may not.
There you go. See, and that's
no, you'd
that's
be
a
pissed.
possibility.
I heard.
I'm totally having sex with your mom.
But
hey, now that's a threat. That's a threat.
No, but like my argument is that all of us are human beings, and just because some of us still try to be conservative or some of us try to be liberal, every human being is still going to have the same reaction. So I'm angry, so I took it to a discussion forum. Sure. I didn't go out there and I didn't protest. I didn't burn down shit.
Sure.
But at the same time, we're all human beings. I mean, if you're surprised that a liberal army is out there doing riots and protesting and whatnot. No. Jesus Christ! There's sports teams out here that caused riots and whatnot.
I never said that.
So it's.
No,
you literally
I did not.
Said they wouldn't be doing the same thing.
No, I did not.
It's incredibly naive to think that
I did not say
a campaign that was built on anger would, and we have it. People were really angry.
Sure, and there's
wouldn't have been angry after they lost. I think it's absurd and naive to think such a thing.
I never said that.
Well, what did you say? Because that's what I got.
Exactly. That's what I understood.
God.
So
oh my God.
Tell me.
Okay, wait. Let Bomber talk. Yeah.
It is perfectly acceptable to be emotional. Of course it is. I never once said you guys should have just took it laying down. I never once said that. Sure, get out there, do your protesting, do your things. I said I think it's ironic that the whole thing was built around love trumping hate and how hate is not in your hearts and you're not going to do hate. But yet I've seen videos of people pulling people out of cars, beating the shit out of people just because they thought they voted for Trump, and burning flags, which I think, of course, I think we can all agree that that's a no-no. But
no, I don't care. I don't care at all.
I think there's way worse things than burning flags.
Yeah, way worse. Burn away. It's just a fucking flag. It doesn't mean anything.
I'm a big fan of the flag. I keep one on my person at all times. This is a true fact about me.
Wow. Okay.
It's a symbol. It's a symbol.
It's very hard to find people who love America more than people who had to leave other countries that were worse.
Okay. Sorry. I was unaware that you felt that way about. Okay. Sorry.
I'm a big fan of the flag. Big fan of the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance and all that stuff. You know, that's why I have a flag outside my house.
Sure.
And I actually do keep one on my person at all times. It's a little one.
I never said that you guys shouldn't have went out there. Like, people shouldn't be going out there and protest. Never said that once. Yes, you guys should be emotional. You guys should be angry that who you supported and who you wanted did not win. Of course you should be. But I was saying it's ironic that the whole thing was against hate, but I've seen more hate from those same people lately that I've ever seen before.
Well, no shit. They lost an emotional election. I'm not surprised.
I agree with the idea that it's more than. I mean, it's definitely not more than I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I can say 100%. Because after Obama won, I was driving around and, I've never. The idea that he looks like Hitler, I would have never crossed my mind, but sure enough, I saw it. And I saw effigies of Obama, and I saw fake Obamas being hung by a tree, and any number of things.
I've never seen any of that, and I'm here in North
Carolina. I can send you pictures afterwards.
Yeah, the Hitler Obama thing was all over the place.
Hitler Obama was everywhere.
Yep.
I know I've seen plenty of Antichrist, like he's the Antichrist. I've seen that. My mom.
I've seen that as well.
I think my mom even said that.
Hitler Obama was really popular.
Hitler Obama. I'm very surprised that you haven't seen Hitler Obama.
Hitler Obama, Obama's a monkey, all that stuff.
Of course,
I don't know where you. No, I'm talking about like shit that happened right afterwards, and how like this is the end of our country and all that stuff. I saw.
I did see that.
4 years ago and 8 years ago.
I did. I'm not saying that it wasn't present back then. I'm talking about
you saying this is the worst you've ever seen. I'm telling you, it's equal to what I've seen
on my timeline. It is. This is the worst hate I've ever seen on my timeline.
I think.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you there.
That's what I'm saying.
because social media wasn't as big during Romney and Obama. It still was huge, obviously, but it's on a monstrously much larger scale. So I think you probably had the same amount of passion for it, but. It's been given a place where everybody now has a voice, and man, there's some fucking angry people on both sides. So
I think it's completely counterproductive to actually fixing anything in this country.
Agreed.
I mean, I have been invited to. Yep. I mean, I'm going to click on the invite right here so I don't get the name wrong. #NotMyPresident. I was invited to that. What else was I invited to? I was invited to today. Was supposed to be. Impeach Trump. He hasn't become president yet.
I know. That's what I was about to say. Oh, my God.
Look,
there's stupid people on both sides. Okay? There's stupid people on both sides.
Yeah, but these people need to stop rioting and protesting. They need to work to run out the fucking old guard in their party and get new, fresh blood.
I think Thanksgiving is going to help. Thanksgiving is coming up, and people will be distracted. It's really fresh. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still pretty sad. I'm really depressed about this.
Yeah, but Lee made a good point that I wanted to touch on too. Is the fact that the Democratic Party needs to get their shit together.
Well, I think Scott and I can both sort of speak on that, where the Liberal Party sort of went through the same thing the last few years.
Anymore. They're not. They're taking money from every corporation you could possibly think of. If anything.
Well, no. Listen, I'm not saying that your Democrats are necessarily the Liberal Party, because honestly, Canadians look at the Canadians look at the Democratic Party and go, "Yeah, you're actually just kind of like slightly left Republicans for the most part."
Yeah,
but I'm just saying that the Liberal Party in Canada was going through a lot of the sort of same problems, where they were very corrupt. Very much connected with businesses and stuff, and that kind of sacked and ruined the party for several years. Well, like they were on the brink of being destroyed, and they actually
one of our third parties almost took it over with NDP coming in strong.
Yeah, and they basically had to slit the throats of most of the old guard and flood the ranks with new people just to get back on top. And now it's running the country again.
That's exactly what we need.
To compare it to the States with you guys, your Democratic Party just lost to a fractured Republican Party that didn't even want the guy who won it for them. Your Democratic Party is dead. And your Republican Party is going to fracture. I think the actual Republicans that are true Republicans are going to break off to their own thing, because Trump, he likes branding. He won't let Republican go away. He needs that part. Your Republican Party is going to fracture. Your Democratic Party is going to fracture. And this is just the outsider opinion, but that's probably best for both parties, because look at what almost happened with Hillary and or Trump. Neither were good scenarios in and of themselves. The whole thing just got to a point where the system got gamed by someone who gamed it better than ever before and fucked it. And now he's in charge, and oh no.
Yeah, that's a big no. Yeah.
Overall base opinion, but I think you got to break it to fix it. And you got to stay to fix it, because the whole idea of going to Canada, we're not plan B, fuck off.
I mean, we got a lot of space up here, but we don't really like Americans all that much.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. You guys, the ones need to stay here.
You know what? We're gonna take our TV shows back.
Yeah, yeah.
You take all our TV shows and our movies back.
Cool. We'll take our stars back.
That's okay.
Justin Bieber and Nickelback.
Hey man, that's okay. I got put.
Oh, don't take Nickelback, please.
Oh my God!
Y'all can sit there and fucking Nickelback. And,
no!
God!
Fuck you.
This is Trump's fault. All Trump's fault. We lost Nickelback because of Trump.
He should have ran on that as a platform.
Yeah,
he would have won, and it would skyrocket numbers.
Hey, if I get back Neil Young, I'm happy. I don't give a fuck.
Well, we literally just lost Leonard Cohen. He died today, so there's one of ours down. So.
Yeah, the Democratic Party needs to. I think that's one of the points I was going to make, is that the Democratic Party needs to be, as you said, their throats slit, not literally, but like figuratively. They need to get out.
Either way,
get them out and start over, because the guys that are there, their interest is not our interest. Their interest is corporations and money, and that's a Republican thing. And all of a sudden, they become Republicans.
Well, that's what I was saying. The party needs to stay. Like, you need the Democrats to stay there to try and fix things, because if the Democrats leave, you'll have even less opposing the ones who are in power, because they're not going anywhere. They got what they wanted. Happy day. Yeah. Don't leave. Stay and fight.
The ones that are claiming
like Colt Cabana told CM Punk, you want to make the WWE better, you got to stay. And then he gave up.
Look at where that got him. Nowhere.
Beat up in case. But still, he made it cool for a bit, right? Until Triple H came along. Anyway.
The Democrats are just so weak right now. Like they're all they do is they constantly fold under the pressure of the Republicans, and the Republicans are dickheads, and they constantly block the Democrats. But look at it, worked. It worked. They got exactly what they wanted, and that now they're completely happy. And the Democrats are in ruins, and they were trying to take the high road, so they can't take the high road anymore.
Got what they wanted without the guy they wanted to get it.
Yeah,
correct.
It's true.
Like they didn't want that and ended up with it. Oh, well, now what? Like, that's the most boggling thing to me. It's not even like there were Republicans against him. Arnold voted against him, for crying out loud, and they're like, I'm not voting for my party.
Oh, they're all coming together now, though. All the ones that
they won with majority.
He's so terrible. I'm not going to vote for him. The moment he won, they're like, Mr. Trump, can I suck your dick this time or this time or this time?
How many said they were going to move to Canada? Oh, well, you couldn't believe everything we say. Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially.
Also, what's wrong with Mexico?
Oh no, Mexico, you'll die. Mexico right now is so bad because Chris Reckless goes there. My partner goes there all the time. His girlfriend's family is from there. And yeah, like if you're white and you go there, you have to seriously, be very careful. Don't leave the major cities ever.
Yo soy hispano. Yo hablo español.
They'll smell the American on you though. That's why he doesn't
smell the Trump.
All the touristy places. Are you crazy? I don't want to get shot.
Yeah, they'll smell the
Trump.
My family left Panama for a reason, yo. Get off.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah. You know what? Like, I can agree with one thing on you, Jake, because I know we don't agree on a lot of this stuff. It is toxic. I think that, the way I posted it, I feel like I am being stern and I'm being aggressive. But at the same time, I'm saying what I want, and what the difference between that and what the protesters are doing is a lot of them don't have a message They're just so emotional right now that they just went out and they're just rioting and being dickheads. And I agree. I don't like the rioting and stuff. I just understand why they're doing it. I think if they wanted to protest, though, they needed a specific message as to what they're protesting. Because
I think their message is clear. It's just literally they scream it out. Just fuck Trump. Yeah, just fuck Trump.
But that's not a message, though. Correct. That's just anger. That's anger and hate, and that's not going to get them anywhere. They need a specific like gay rights. Gay rights is something that rightfully so they're very scared about. I've seen a lot of protests that are about that. At least they're actually having a topic.
Let's talk about the gay rights. Fill me in here. What is the big scare on the gay rights right now?
The chance of them actually being able to take back gay marriage is pretty slim at this point, but it can definitely make their lives a living hell. I mean, look at what happened in your state. All they want to do is just go to the fucking bathroom, and they passed a law saying, nope, that's illegal. So this is the problem.
They did it illegal. Well, that's different. It's transsexual, but.
That part, but that's still gay.
It all falls.
Well, it's not gay. It's not gay if they claim to be a woman.
It's all the same thing. It all falls into the same subject. The problem is that the Republicans obviously have a history of not respecting the gay community at all. I mean, Mike Pence is the fucking vice president soon, and he thinks that electroshock therapy to the brain will change how someone is gay.
Correct. Look, Pence. Yes, you should be afraid of Pence. No, I'm going to say that right now. You should be afraid of Mike Pence. Yes. Trump.
So again,
where's
we
Trump?
Are.
Now where I don't ever recall seeing anything where Trump was anti-LGBT.
Trump is not the threat. I've been telling you.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not his opinion that's going to fucking.
But why are people yelling "fuck Trump" then?
Because he's
the figurehead that they see.
Yeah, he's the head of the snake. Obviously, if a snake jumps you, you're going to fear the head.
I'm getting mixed reactions here then.
Well, it's mixed. I mean, the Republicans
Trump is still fuck Pence. It's the same goddamn thing, really.
If I don't like the Liberal Party, I say fuck Trudeau.
I don't see anything.
It's not anti-Trudeau. It's his party. That's all it
is. You also have to remember it's that he gave voice to hate. So now, if you hate gays, you can just say it because he's telling it as it is the new thing now.
Technically, you could always just say it. It's stupid
or you felt ashamed for it. That's why you didn't have people openly walking around. Like I've been hearing countless ones about Arabs walking around and they're just telling them, "Hey, why are you still here?" That was something that you would not say unless you were a straight up asshole. But now he's given a voice to people before that kept it to themselves. It's not a president
validating it.
You can't have a president like that. He's supposed to represent all of us, and he does. And the problem is that now you have the percentage that voted for him think it's cool to walk around and say, "Hey, yeah, fuck you, queer."
Those people
it's not acceptable. That's not.
People, but you can't help those people. They're fucking stupid no matter what. No matter
what. They didn't feel like
they
had
are
a voice
enabled
before.
now.
Yeah, they didn't think they were enabled. Now
they see nothing wrong with doing it.
Because now they think the 1950s are coming back. Woo boy!
Now, so is that the reason why the LGBT community is scared? Is because people can now voice their
They're
opinions?
scared the rights they've barely gotten are going to be taken away or compromised.
Yeah, I think compromise more than anything.
But what has Trump said or done that would?
I mean, he said he openly doesn't support gay marriage. He
doesn't. But also, it's more what he's not said.
Yeah. That's also the scary part.
For them and said
Obama literally was the first president to publicly say he's all for gay marriage.
Yeah, I mean, he waited too until it was
because that's when everything that was the big trend when everything got real big in that.
Yeah, it was already a thing, and he basically, even though I think he probably personally never had an issue with gay people, I think it already was on a national scale. People were getting behind this idea that everybody should be equal, and he basically just said, "Okay, fine. Like you said it, I'll go along with it." But with Trump,
you do have to remember one of the last groups to start embracing the gay community was the African American community.
Yeah.
So it says something about. I'm not saying that he was one of those people, but that was also his base.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It made sense politically for him just to keep that on the back burner until he needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's just like with Trump and the pre-existing condition thing. I know Rab thinks that way. It's probably not going to be a problem. But you know what? All he'd have to do, all Trump would have had to done while he was running, or even right now, is release a statement and say, "I'm aware that people are really worried about us taking away your health care on day one. but I'm going to take care of you. Pre-existing conditions are going to be handled. Do you have nothing to worry about? Has he said that? God, no.
That's part of the something much better.
Yeah.
Oh God.
He said
Yeah, it's
something
so
better with
fucking, it's so vague.
But
How's it take that?
It's vague on purpose.
I
Yeah,
think
he's going to be huge. He's going to be great on healthcare.
But that's the problem. All he had to do is come out and say, people, the 21 million Americans that are going to potentially lose their health.
Then he needs to answer questions of how. So
Exactly.
by being vague, he doesn't ever have to answer questions of. Well, I mean, now we're gonna find out. Here it is for real. It's gonna happen. Shit.
Yeah, now he gets Pence and people to tell him how he's actually going to do it.
Yeah, so my life may be on the line because he decided to be vague, and he's decided that he's not. Though you'll find out when I sign the fucking bill. Like that's my problem. Why doesn't he just come out and, especially with the gay community, he never came out and said, "I'm going to take care of you." He just said, "The gay community loves me." What the fuck does that even mean? No, they fucking don't. Obviously, because they're the biggest group they're protesting him right now.
And see, the thing is, my question to you is, I don't recall him ever saying anything to scare the LGBT community.
Point blank, marriage is between a man and a woman, and he has to say.
When did he say that?
There's multiple interviews. Go online.
Oh yeah, no, that's I remember seeing that around Christmas time when he was saying, "Yeah, I believe in marriage. I've had 4 myself."
He's been a Democrat his whole fucking life, and he always supported it. But then he's running against it.
Yeah,
And
no, I do remember that.
What makes you think that if he's been a Democrat all his life and now he's switched to Republican, what makes you think that he doesn't have those Democratic views?
Because he's an opportunist. He was a Democrat because it was politically good for him.
You're supposed to not take him.
He's actually switched back and forth like 7 times.
Yeah.
It's not like he's been a Democrat his whole life.
I mean, I can actually speak. Like I have one of my best friends is very deeply ingrained in the into the gay community, the trans community, bisexual, all that stuff, and he and his friends are very, very frightened of the possibilities that Trump puts on board for this shit.
I have the same thing, or a close friend of mine, a family member of my wife's, a cousin of hers that's like a sister to her, is a dark-skinned Latina who's gay and is running a Democratic campaign. She's the opposite of everything for Trump voters,
Mm-hmm.
The stereotypical Trump voter. They're scared as fuck, man.
Yeah, I mean, you keep saying like why, but like again,
I know, Bomber. You're trying to say, like, give us the examples. There aren't any, but that's the problem. There aren't any.
I know, but I think there are examples.
There's nothing alleviating it.
Well,
the party's
president.
It's his party if they're in charge.
The thing I'm
his
just
vice
asking,
president. That's all. That's the only example you need. His vice president is one of the most anti-gay political people that there is.
Yes, he is. Yes.
So that's the example. Like, well, I don't understand why you think you need more when his entire goal up to getting this is to stop gay people from having rights.
Remember, so you can at least say you remember when he said he was going to get rid of all of Obama's executive orders, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
A lot of those were stuff protecting gays.
Then there's also the fact that when Trump was doing his dealings to fit into the party, there's been reports that he basically made deals that basically say that Pence is going to be running everything.
Yeah, Pence would run everything.
Yeah, so it's going to be Pence. It's going to be President Pence, really. Trump is just the fucking figurehead.
That's true or not, but
yeah, but I mean that seems to be.
That came out from what's his name, the one that didn't.
John Kasich.
Yeah, Kasich's people came out and said that point blank, that he was just trying to find a VP that could do the job while he gets to make America great again. Like that's a thing.
The worst part is that was the actual line. When Kasich asked, "Well, what will Donald Trump be doing?" The answer was making America great again.
And yes, here's my question to you: what is wrong with that answer?
Because it's nothing.
Because there's no substance to it. It's just fucking bullshit.
Vague. Once again, vague.
It's not a thing at all. You run the country. You do all foreign, and also, and I will make America. What does that even mean?
I guess I can't.
Anything.
It does mean something.
What does it mean?
What does it mean to you?
To you guys, to your guys' views at this point in time, you probably won't like the answer, but what I believe it probably means is that he is going to appoint people in certain positions because he knows what he's doing as far as appointing people in positions that are capable of carrying certain roles and he will appoint these people in those positions to get the jobs done.
But that's part of foreign and domestic policy.
And he won't be appointing
That's
these
part
people.
of the thing that, according to Kasich, that's part of the thing he said he won't be doing. That's part of foreign and domestic policy. That's part of that.
The people behind him will be telling him to appoint these people. He won't be doing it. He doesn't fucking know what he's fucking doing.
Okay.
No, he's no idea.
I'm just.
Well, I mean, like,
I'm not yelling at you, Bomber. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine if you. No, I have no problem if you guys. Trust me, I have no.
I mean, like, example of how he got Pence. Like, his former person running his campaign came out and said he had to trick him into taking Pence because he wanted, what's his name? Fat fuck. He wanted him.
Chris Christie.
Yeah, he wanted him. So he had to trick him into taking Pence because he wanted to satisfy the conservatives that Trump was willing to take a conservative. But the thing is, I don't want a fucking president who has to be tricked into taking a fucking vice president. I don't want that. You know what?
I have a question.
Yeah,
was Chris Christie found guilty? I don't remember that or not.
No, his aides were, and he came out and said that, that they were behind it.
So my question to you is, what is wrong with Chris Christie if he was never found guilty?
Chris Christie was sitting up raving like a madman, yelling, "Lock her up," when all we wanted to hear was, "Hey, what are you going to do for the country?" Oh, no, I'm not going to tell you, lock her up.
Also, I've always been weary of national candidates who aren't liked in their own state.
Mm-hmm.
No, seriously, it's not a joke. If you know, that's why I didn't like. Who was the third guy? Mike O'Malley. Mike O'Malley.
Yeah, one of those guys. Mike O'Malley. We'll just say Mike.
From Baltimore. He was the mayor of Baltimore, and then he became the governor of Maryland. They don't like him, so I was always worried about him. As the idea of him being vice president, because he was one of the names being bounced around. The idea of why would you put someone as VP when you don't like someone? So they don't like Chris Christie in New Jersey.
Sure. Because of something that he wasn't found guilty of, correct?
No, they just don't like him.
Oh, okay.
Also because he's kind of a loudmouth asshole, and also he kind of became a sad little cuckold in the campaign as well.
Oh,
so.
Triggered.
I'm just wondering, isn't that like everybody up there in that part of the country though? Little loudmouth assholes. I'm just wondering. I'm just asking. I'm asking questions. I'm not stating. I'm asking.
In case that the answer to that is no.
Okay, well there you go.
So I have an example though. When you say with Trump, you're like, okay, well Pence isn't going to be a threat because you think Trump is the guy that makes the calls. But like with Reagan, it was pretty much assured that Reagan didn't really make any decisions. Bottom line, because he's just an actor, came into the role. People loved him because they wanted to see. They liked him. So, but the general consensus is he didn't really make decisions. People behind him did. So so you would judge the president based off the people behind him. I see the people he's put behind him, and I hate every single fucking one of them. Well, Giuliani is insane. Carson is a religious fucking.
He doesn't believe in evolution, and he wants Roe Wade overturned. And he might be the lead of education.
Pence thinks gay people can be electroshocked into being straight. You can see why they have a problem with this, the gay community, and why liberals have a problem with this. Because all he really had to do was put at least one or two sane people in there. Sarah Palin is going to gain power under Trump. Jesus fucking Christ. She is the worst. Now I'm sitting up here talking about monkeys. Monkeys throw poo at each other. Like, shut the fuck. I don't know. She's black.
By the way, I will say for Chris Christie, he pulled off some great. People were writing political obituaries for him.
Yeah. He came back.
Like, this is the last week where Chris Christie will be relevant in politics, and he pulled that shit off. People were giving him shit. He wriggled his way out of this.
What a gamble! He gambled because Trump. What was it? They said at one point Trump was like a 1 in 10 of winning, and Christie bet on that, and he got a 10% chance. He fucking won. He went to Vegas and he came home with 10 times the amount of money he brought.
Good for him.
Good for him. I agree.
That's a little impressive.
That's very impressive.
I say good dead in the water, and what little goodwill he still had in New Jersey, he threw away for this shit. And you know what? It paid off. Good for Chris Christie.
Yeah, good for that piece of shit.
But yeah, he's awful.
That's it. I feel like Trump has made every wrong move so far. The one thing I will say, I will give him one thing that I liked. I liked his actual acceptance speech. I felt like he did the right thing, thank God, because I was honestly fearing that he would walk up there and just start looting.
I was incredibly surprised by his acceptance speech.
But did you see the one thing he did that was the big fuck you to all of us? The song he played as he was done was the "You can't always get what
he always plays that though.
Wait, that really played?
I
thought that was the joke.
That is. But he always plays
It's true.
This whole time. I mean, everyone's been. That's been his campaign song this whole time, which has been really weird. That he always comes out to, "You can't always get what you want," which is so weird. But to be fair, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find that you get what you need.
Yeah.
Now, so either way, like, good. I'm glad that he at least had a non-offensive and I tried to have a unifying acceptance speech. I was happy about that, but again, I am unbelievably nervous and scared about what he's going to do, and that's the biggest issue. And I know that she's bad, but I also know that she would have at least done the job, and she would have tried to please as many people possible. But like Rab was saying, yeah, she probably would have kept forgetting the lower class. But I would argue that Trump is going to be just as detrimental to the lower class as she would have been.
And if that's true, he'll be gone in 4 years.
Yeah, I hope. God, I already think he will. I don't think there's any chance that he's going to get reelected unless they put Tim Kaine against him. But
he might be because W was
Tim Kaine against him. I mean, look, don't listen to who's going to run right now. We're way too far.
That's
away.
what I say. That's what I was saying. Yeah,
that's the same fucking people said when he announced that he was running for president. We're like, don't fucking listen to that. He has no prayer in hell. Now he's the president. So now just listening to things.
It's not the same. It's not the same thing to say, "Hey, we don't know what's going to happen," and "Hey, that's not going to happen." What I'm saying is, we don't know what's going to happen.
It's a true statement.
If they've learned something, then I think you're right. But if they have learned absolutely nothing, which is a strong possibility, then I think there's a good chance that they would pick someone like him to run.
No. I think this forces their hand, but have they learned their lesson? I don't know.
Honestly, even if they don't learn their lesson, Tim Kaine's not really the kind of guy they run. And they picked him as VP because there just weren't a lot of people. At least he spoke Spanish. They were hoping that helped him with the Latinos. That was part of the same strategy. And he was he was in Virginia. He's a senator from Virginia, and they were hoping to pick up that state. But his name barely ever came up before that.
They need to run some sweet Elizabeth Warren action. Because
I'm more of a Cory Booker kind of guy, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I've heard. I don't know much about him, Rab. So can you please tell me the positives on him? Because I keep hearing that name popping up.
Are we talking about people for 4 years from now?
No, I'm just in general. Everybody keeps saying that this Booker guy, is awesome.
Cory Booker was the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, a few years back. He's an African American gentleman. He's decent looking dude. This is actually important, believe it or not. It is. Marco Rubio's a pretty good candidate. And now he's the senator from New Jersey. He won that seat. There had to be a special election. I don't remember why. I think the previous senator died, and there had to be a special election. He won that seat, and he moved from the mayor of Newark to the governor of New Jersey. And he was getting pretty big on the national scene even when he was the mayor of Newark, which says a lot about him. He's a very good speaker. When people say Cory Booker, they go, "Oh my God, maybe that's our next Obama." It's really the kind of thing. He happens to be a black guy who speaks very well.
Yeah, he's black, so he's Obama.
Let's be real. This is what's up, man.
Yeah, it is.
What else do you have to base it off of? I mean, that's true. I mean, yeah.
He's a black guy that speaks well.
Obama's the prototype, and at least this guy doesn't have Hussein in his name.
He's very liberal. He's a vegan. Funnily enough, I think he would definitely be our first vegan president. It's a liberal quality. I'm not one of them, but most vegans tend to be liberal.
Oh, fucking vegan Nazis.
Vegan Nazis. I'll stick with Elizabeth Warren, but I respect your decision, vegan lover.
I have an interesting...
I don't know if you've seen the barbecue I've been putting on my Instagram. I'm a lot of things, but a vegan is not one of them.
I have something interesting that you guys to tell you guys. It's pretty interesting. I actually lost a bet on this election.
That's not surprising because
I think a lot of people
going for Trump.
I never thought in a million years.
A big part of me, I should have done it. I was like, man, I should put like $200 on Trump.
I would.
So that if he wins, whatever. I mean, if he loses, good. The person I won, And if I won, at least I'd get some money back.
It's money.
I didn't
true.
do it.
Yeah.
That would make the blow hurt a little less, I guess, if you have some money coming in for it.
Well, I lost money.
How much did you lose?
$1.
Oh, Matt lost his insurance.
Well,
yeah, I lost my insurance.
So we're
Sorry,
even.
I was waiting on that.
Not being insured.
And the funny thing, no, here's the thing: you haven't lost anything yet. You haven't lost anything yet. Stop.
Oh,
saying,
I know.
This
is stupid.
I'm not saying that you're not. I'm not saying you won't. I'm not saying you will. I'm not saying you don't know yet. You don't know yet.
The system that the Republicans have tried to get passed before that they favor, I can't remember what it's called. Is it like Health Saver or something? And it's more or less it's if you're rich, you're good. If you're not rich, that's one of the reasons it hasn't been passed. But I was reading up on, I can't remember the name of it, but I remember just in general, it basically favors rich people. And again, like that's Trump.
I'm wondering if more states are going to try to do their own socialized medicine, like Colorado's trying to do, and Massachusetts done for a while.
I mean, Republicans generally favor states choosing over federal, and the problem with that is it depends on what state you're in. So I might be okay because California again.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, and the Republicans
specifically.
But letting the states choose on some things is just
no. I think it's a terrible idea, which is why I'm a liberal. I believe in big government. I mean, I'm not one of the people who. I have friends who are Republicans who I think are perfectly, smart people and perfectly kind people and perfectly empathetic people, and they just have a different view on what government should be. And none of them wanted Trump, which says something about them.
It says that they stuck to their fucking moral high ground. Like the Mormons in Utah, I assume Trump won it, but the fact that he almost didn't to a relative no name, like that
not
shows
a relative no name.
I mean, to them, outside there, he is.
It's a no name.
I mean, inside though, he is a name. Like he's been running. For years.
No, not really. He's not. He had never been in government before. He's a former CIA agent.
Yeah. That's awful,
wait, what's his name? I know what it is.
Jack Ryan.
No, it's a different guy.
It starts with an M. But
this is the biggest proof that it's Evan McMullen. But the biggest proof that he is a no name is that I just asked everyone what his name was, and no one could give it to me.
I don't even know you're talking
Clancy.
about,
All right, so Jake, in Utah, this no name guy almost took the state from Trump. He got really close to it.
Yeah,
because the Mormons actually have a moral base that they're not willing to compromise, so they went with a Mormon. They're like,
they didn't in the end. They all voted for Trump when everything got close. It's easy to have a moral high ground when you think Trump's going to lose anyway, so you might as well throw a protest vote.
Yeah.
The moment the election got tight again, they went right back to voting for Trump.
That's not a bad point. I give you that.
And I mean, Harambe got like 100,000 fucking votes or some shit. So I mean, whatever.
22,000. I think is what it is.
Okay, 22,000, whatever. So I mean, there's that many stupid
He died
people.
for all of us, man. Don't you start that shit.
So there's that many stupid people out there that's gonna vote for Harambe. So I mean,
what
are you gonna
do? There's a giant area. There's a giant area at Disney's Animal Kingdom, which is like the Harambe area. No shit. This is just what it's called because it's a some fucking African name. How many people do you think have been flipping their dicks out at Disney under the sign for the Harambe area?
Oh, I bet.
It's got to be a big problem there.
Dicks out. But
exactly.
so let's go around because this is your time to right now. I know Matt Zion, you've got a lot of stuff. Like I know you've said a lot here. I know Rab, you've said a lot here, and I've said some things. And I mean the Canadians, they're over there. They're over there in the corner. But no, I'm kidding. No. I want everybody to go around. I want you to, if you got something to say, like if you really got something to just let out and say, do it. This is your time to vent. This is your time. I know we've been discussing things, but it's your time. If you really got to say something,
go Rab.
Go for it. No pressure. I mean, no pressure.
I can go first if you want.
We can. How about we have Lee and Scott go first?
I've basically said everything. I've basically said everything already that I feel.
So you have nothing to vent.
This is the way I vent. Discussion is my venting. This is the way I feel better and I let things out. It's by discussion. That's just my manner. Mm-hmm. I'm not one to yell and scream. I mean, I didn't yell and scream when it happened. I haven't yelled and screamed since. I'm not going to yell and scream about it at any point. I've been very sad.
Has anyone cried? You can be honest.
My girlfriend did. I actually came out to her. She was on the couch drinking a Bud Light, which she never drinks, out of the fridge, and she was just on the couch crying. And her reasoning being that she just said, "I can't believe that he disrespected women on that type of level
Oh my God,
and
we didn't
still
talk about
became
women,
president."
Did we didn't even talk.
No,
about
I mean,
because we're all men.
All men.
Fuck,
yeah,
we look
man.
so
have a
bad.
voice in Trump's
God
America.
damn it.
We're a bunch of guys, and we realize how this shit actually works.
Yeah.
He
God.
opened that.
For the record, most white women voted for Trump and not Hillary.
No,
Just
that's-
for the
that's-
record.
But
Horrifying.
women hate each other. That's how women work.
But like that tape, everybody was focusing on the wrong part of that tape when he said grab him by the pussy. That's all you heard. That's literally all you heard. The next part was the part that really disturbed me, is when he said basically without consent. I mean, he just said, I just go for it. I don't ask first. And that is absolutely horrifying that a president of the United States is on audio saying that he can force himself on a woman and they'll just let him do it.
What are your
was
thoughts
terrible.
on
My little sister has cried a lot over this.
I was at a restaurant with a friend, and there was everybody just in a bummed out, down mood seeing those numbers come in.
Sure.
And we're in Canada seeing that. We're not even in the States
I think
seeing
a lot
this
of people,
shit.
like a lot of people
It was
outside
crazy.
The United States,
It was nuts.
Yeah, when I got into work, and I live in a rather, like Rami does. I live in a rather blue area. Miami-Dade's quite blue.
Sure.
And especially and I actually work with a lot of foreigners, and I don't just, you think, oh, Miami foreigners, so Nicaraguans and Cubans and stuff. No, I work with a lot of Germans and Englishmen and Irish and more Germans and French and whatever. Tons of Europeans.
Work with Fit.
And I walked in, and these people aren't American citizens, but yeah, the mood was somber to say the least.
Now, as far as women go, we didn't bring this topic. I think this is the last big topic that we didn't bring up, I guess. Do you think this is horrible for women that Donald Trump is now going to become president?
It's definitely not good. It's not good. I don't think it's going to affect them as much as it is going to affect the gay community. I think the gay community is going to have a lot more to lose from this, because women have already pretty much been given what they need for the most part, other than like fair wages and whatnot. But it's not good for them.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's okay. The only thing I want to say was you have a base, a party, an entire belief system that women don't have the right to choose. Like it's not their body, and they are gonna fight on that. They're gonna do whatever they can to make it uncomfortable for them. And the fact that Planned Parenthood is gone, I mean, there's no way.
You say it's gone. I know nothing has happened yet, but
they're going to.
Do you
They're going
think
to.
it's?
They're not going to close it, but they'll take away the money on it. They can't operate without that federal funding.
My question to you is: do you think it's fair to continuously say all these things have already happened when nothing has happened yet?
But I mean, they've already gone.
That's part of why he went in.
That's why, like, he ran on that platform, and they've continually attacked it and tried to get it taken down when they didn't have power.
Sure.
What makes you think once they have full power, they're not going to?
Asking questions. That's all.
I know that I'm getting that a lot in my debates with people. Is a lot of them say, "Oh, well, wait until he does it before you take issue with it." That's not the way the world works.
Can I say from that? If you wait till he does it to take it back, it's gone, and you can't get it back. You need to stop him from even taking it in the first place.
It's not possible to come back. If it
Not
does go in?
More often than not, no. Or at least not within his 4 years. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
So it's better to try and stop them from taking it away. If you can stop it from being taken away, than getting it put back in.
Mm-hmm.
It might get it back, but it's going to take years. And during that time, how many women that didn't want a child, like even especially the extreme side, women that have been raped. And Mike Pence is another one that came on record and said, "Hey, if you're raped, I want you to have that baby." If that's their fucking right, if they don't want the child, they don't have it. Well, during the 8 years that they closed down Planned Parenthood, and then eventually we can get it back with the next president, that's 8 years of people that unfortunately are going to suffer, just like a pre-existing condition. If they destroy it, I'm sure you can get it back, but that's still 8 years potentially where people could be dying in order.
That's an 8
But
year old child.
But it's not just abort. How many people aren't going to be able to get breast exams? How many people aren't going to be able to get cervical cancer screenings? How many people aren't going to be able to get pregnancy tests? How many people aren't going to be able to get how many hack
birth
job
control abortions in a back alley are you going to get that are going to hurt the mother as well.
Oh, yeah. And Matt, you mentioned this before, but Planned Parenthood does more than just that.
Way more.
And all that's gone now because of the one thing.
I mean, birth control is the biggest one. Cheap birth control is gone.
So,
I mean,
I have another question. You say it's gonna take. It would take years and stuff to, if it does go away. You said it would take years and stuff to get it back if it would come back. How? By saying that, you're making it sound like he can just like snap his fingers and Planned Parenthood is gone. Is that how it works?
He has the majority of the government.
Because it's not him.
Majority government.
Not him. There's no. The Republicans have been trying to do this forever. Just there's always been someone stopping them, and now there's no one to stop them.
The way it's always been with Obama with a lot of stuff is his party wanted things, but the opposition, which had the majority, was saying no, even though they agreed on it, but it was the other party, so they wanted to shut it down. We mentioned that. That doesn't happen now. Now it's Trump's party, and they're the one in majority. So it's not like the Democrats can get in the way, even though, like Matt said, they said they wouldn't do that. Well, fuck. Now they can't even do that. It's all the one party in charge of it, which hasn't happened in a long time. And that's frightening when that party says, we want this gone. Now there's really not many people in the way to stop it.
And by the way, I heard somebody did say something earlier about Mike Pence maybe saying like if a woman was raped that she shouldn't be able to have an abortion. Just want to point out that Trump did not say that. But
again, though, he's not in charge.
Yeah, and again,
it's his right-hand man.
I mean, but
you keep coming back to it that Trump is going to be the one to save us. Trump is clueless.
I never said Trump's
no,
gonna be
your
the one to
argument
save us.
keeps coming back to
no
Trump didn't say that. It doesn't matter what he says. I'm telling you, he's literally just the head of the snake. It's the full body you got to worry about. That's what's going to swallow you whole and keep you hidden down below. So he's just there. He's Reagan. He's not going to make decisions. He's just going to make America great again, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Old boy network.
Okay, gotcha. Like I said, just asking. And
no, you're attacking me, and I don't appreciate it, Bomber. I'm gonna come down there and your skull.
Hey, Trump supporter, back off.
I have heard other stuff that, like even Bernie Sanders was talking about with Trump. He hates the fact of the racism and the misogyny and all this bullshit. But he likes the fact that Trump wants jobs in America. He doesn't want it being exported. He wants the jobs. He works for that. And I'm all for that. But it's a man who is a horrible person.
No.
And that's where a lot of the lines are coming up. That's where a lot of discussion's coming up.
Being in local news, obviously we aren't very one-sided at like the network news is and whatnot. But I
Excuse
was.
Me?
What's up?
Can you? I'm sorry, I kind of missed that. What did you say?
I said being in local news here in Charlotte, we really don't do anything that is one-sided, like a lot of people claim that network news is like, say, like NBC and Fox News and whatever, it's CNN or whatever. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you actually didn't hear me.
No,
when you said we, I was like, what news are we in?
Oh, me.
You meant you.
My local news here in Charlotte, North Carolina, which, by the way, went 64% for Hillary, by the way. Mecklenburg
but how many
County.
for Flair?
There you go. I think there probably was a couple Flair votes. But anyway, as I was saying, what was I talking about? You totally distracted me with Flair there. Huh?
You're not.
Yes, I was a part of something that was, for the first time I've ever experienced it, because I don't watch network news. I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch NBC. I don't watch any of those network news. And I was a part of something for the first time that was so hardcore one-sided. I felt for my first time, I felt what a lot of people claim they see all the time. And that was a hardcore one-sided argument that was absolutely it was like, I guess the best word to use, it was fucking disgusting. It was not cool to watch. And that was
like a media bias, or
yeah, that was my anchor who her last day is tomorrow at our station. She's getting out of the business. She is a big Hillary supporter. After our newscast one weekend, she brought in a bunch of kids that, well, when I say kids, they're like 16-year-olds that cannot vote now and will vote in the next election. And she wanted to get their views on the election that's going on right now and their take on it, seeing how they'll be the next generation that comes in. That was her angle and everything. She pitched it, and our news director loved it and everything. Everybody was on board. So they came in. mind you, on the weekend, there's no managers, nothing there to see this take place. But as they sit down, and I'm a big person about diversity, having all sides of the argument, and, I try to go right down the middle as much as I possibly can. And she sits down. There's 5 total kids. There's 3 Democrats, as they say. She says, introduce yourself. She says, blah, blah, blah. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat. And there's 2 people that say, I'm an undecided Republican. I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. The other ones, so for 30 minutes, they had this roundtable discussion that not one positive thing was said about Donald Trump. Not one negative thing was said about Hillary Clinton from all sides, all angles. We ran sound bites we ran the sound bite of Trump grabbing people by the pussy. We used all kinds of sound bites, and we used one sound bite from Hillary Clinton because for the 30-minute segment, for 2 minutes, we talked about Hillary Clinton. We timed it out. I am not exaggerating. And the one soundbite we used was her explaining herself about her emails, which was kind of when she got sent back, when the FBI got sick back on her again, I guess you can say. And she did the soundbite where she's like, "Oh, it's okay, blah blah blah. It's nothing. It's not gonna no big deal." And that was it. That was all we talked about. So that was the first time I actually witnessed like extreme bias views for me. I wasn't very happy because there was people that can't even vote, and to see them up there so mad and we ran this on TV on our station. This was the first time that I really saw a biased viewpoint on TV on air, and it really does suck. So all the people that have watched all the network stuff and say that they've seen this stuff, I haven't personally, but I now know what they say, what they feel and whatnot, and it does suck. It really does suck, and I don't know. I don't think it's very cool, and I had my friend that was there. He's a director. He's a big Gary Johnson. He's always I'm feeling the Johnson. I'm gonna feel the Johnson. After watching that, he was so mad that he said, "You know what? Fuck this. I'm voting for Trump." I was like, "What?" Watching that biased viewpoint, he switched that, changed his mind from voting for Gary Johnson to voting for Donald Trump.
I mean, I will say that I have always had this huge problem of false equivalencies with the media. Mm-hmm. It does make sense to have one side that speaks for pro-climate and then one guy who speaks against, the climate. That's not a real thing. Those are not equal viewpoints. Mm-hmm. It's also worth noting that, Hillary did lose in a lot of places, but she won that county by like 40 points. So it makes sense that they would be outnumbered there, mm-hmm. Especially Johnson. I mean, you didn't get votes anywhere. We're not going to talk about that guy.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I don't know. It's really weird how
you got to know your audience, man.
And that's the thing.
You're right, Bomber. That was gross. So I mean, that she shouldn't have been able to do that.
I wish you guys could have seen it. She even at one point said this. And she went through and edited this part out of the actual before it aired, actually, which was good. She said, journalists are not supposed to have a viewpoint on these subjects. But you know what really made me mad? And she said when Trump did that, I was like, what the fuck did you just do? I was like, that's not what this is about. But again, hey, tomorrow's her last day in the business, so pretty sure she doesn't care.
Yeah, thanks, Trump.
And during the newscast, you can't tell, obviously, she's one way or the other. But I swear to God, every commercial break, I've seen her scream this and that about Trump, and so mad that we ran some package saying that something positive about Trump, and it's really gross.
Did she scream because he grabbed her right in the pussy?
And that's the thing. That's the thing about Trump has so many bad qualities. He has so many bad qualities. But it is gross to watch all of that focused on and no two sides of the coin. Hillary has so many bad qualities too.
I mean, if you think she wasn't bashed by the media too, then you don't know the email thing. Like that's
a huge false equivalency again. I have to say.
They both got nailed rigorously by the media.
I agree.
Well,
I'm talking about the segment that we did. I'm not talking about overall in general. Of course she did. They both did. Yeah, they both did. But no, that was just my first experience seeing biased. I don't even know if you want to call it journalism. I don't know what you want to call it, but it was on
journalism.
Yeah.
So she was there. You said there was no station director there at the time, right? So she was going to do her own thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be that guy and say that was Pence with no Trump around.
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! You know what?
That's what Matt's been trying to say all this time.
And I'm gonna I will say this. I guess I want to do my little thing real quick. Just get my side of everything out and just have what I have to say. Get off my chest.
All right, get it out there, you filthy Trump supporter.
I've never supported Trump. First of all, from day one, I said Trump would never win the nomination, never do this. Then he did. Trump would never win the presidency. Trump would never win the presidency. Holy shit, he did.
Because you voted.
Oh no, what have we done?
But the thing, Rab, come on now. So
did you vote? This is like Trump again. He hasn't necessarily said he wasn't against it, but
the on record right here. Did you vote for Trump?
We all said whether or not he voted for him.
I voted for Hillary. I'm not afraid to say it. That's the way it is.
If we're having a political episode where you're saying, oh, one side's like this and one side's like that, it's only fair to say which side you were.
I am a Republican. I don't agree with everything. I try to focus on things as right down the middle as I possibly can. I am not a religious person. I do not agree with all this hardcore religious stuff that goes on. That's why I voted for Hillary Clinton, and I could not vote for Trump because of one reason. Main reason
I'm shocked, by the way.
Let him say it. I want closure. Yeah.
The main reason I voted for Hillary Clinton is because of Mike Pence, and that is almost the sole reason I voted for Hillary Clinton was because of Mike Pence.
So you know what we're talking about.
What the hell is going on?
I've been asking. I've been asking.
Such a hard time for 3 hours.
I've been asking questions. That's all I've been doing.
I have to commend Bomber. He's been playing devil's advocate for 2 hours now and doing a very, very good job of it.
I didn't want it. I don't want anything to be one-sided.
Are you sure you're not a politician, Bomber?
No, I do agree with. I do agree with.
You need to run
a lot of the viewpoints that Donald Trump says, but I don't agree with hardly anything at all ever that Mike Pence agrees with. And I do know the fact that Donald Trump isn't going to be making all those calls, that he's not going to be doing that. I know that. But I could not vote for Mike Pence. So I waited in line for about little over 2 hours
Wow. Really?
Yeah. It was the day before early voting was over on, I think, Thursday or something like that. But
what a switch! Everyone thought he's going one way, and then he goes the other. It's like when Michael Hayes fucking smashed the cage into the Von Erichs. And
honestly, I knew there was a decent chance he had voted for Hillary Clinton. I just wanted to hear him say it.
I only waited in line for. It took me about 20 minutes, and I was done.
Oh, you fuck!
I was in line maybe for 4 or 5 minutes. This is a good time to bring this up. So. Bomber, obviously this is the first election in North Carolina after the Voters' Rights Act got knocked down.
Okay.
And there was a lot of talk about all these polling places that disappeared, especially in the cities. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering from you if it was harder for you to vote this time than the last time around.
Well, I was in Wilmington, North Carolina, the last 2 elections I voted for. So, and this is my first time in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I went to the place. There's a library that's not too far from here, and it was insane. It was insane voting there. So I can't I don't know how it was last time in Charlotte, but in Wilmington, while I was in Wilmington, the very first time I voted for the McCain-Obama election, I waited in line for about 2 hours then too. I've always waited in line a very long time to vote.
I waited in line 3 hours last time.
Oh wow.
2:12, and it actually might have been more. It might have been 4 hours. It was a really long time. There was a lot of voter suppression that time they made the ballot extra long, so it took extra long for everyone to fill it out. Mm-hmm. They got rid of a lot of the polling places. They got rid of a lot of the early voting. All that stuff got forced back in by like lawsuits and stuff this time around.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people mad at North Carolina for how long people have been waiting in line. So.
Oh, but it was on purpose and it worked.
I mean,
I don't blame them. Like, if I drove by and I thought I'd have like a 2-hour fucking wait, although I am in California and I knew my vote only really counted in the measures around me, not the presidency. It didn't fucking matter who I voted for president. Yeah. But like, yeah, I would definitely reconsider if I knew I had to wait in line for in some places up to like 4 hours. Obviously, this is a Southern thing.
Shit.
It's pretty classic Republican move in the Southern states is they try to suppress the vote, and they're pretty open about it. They say it in other ways, but that's one of their goals.
Actually, remember, in North Carolina, they didn't say it in other ways. They actually said it in that way. They straight up said it, which is why it was actually better than it would have been, because they got a bunch of laws struck down by the Supreme Court. Like the judge is basically like, dude, you can't say in the paper, hey, look how we can stop the blacks from voting. You're not allowed to say that. You're allowed to say, like, look how we can stop the Democrats from voting, believe it or not, but you can't say the blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is exactly what they did. Look how we can suppress African American vote. Man, you write it. Don't you guys know to shred this shit?
Yeah, the only like, if the only way that you know, or one of your key strategies to winning is to make sure that people don't vote, you are a fucking sick party. It's ridiculous.
Where's the fucking nation of domination? You fucking
I would vote for Farouk. I'd vote for Farouk. Oh, did you guys know Rhino lost? Poor Republican.
Yeah. Rhino never had a shot. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, his political career mirrors his fucking wrestling career.
Yeah. Well,
Whackity-schmackity-doo.
They can't have long hair when they're running for office like that. So
fucked up. Be a jobber as well.
But yeah. So just in closing for me, obviously, I have mixed feelings about everything that goes on. I don't go. You won't see me on any social media things as far as like my normal stuff. I won't be picking any sides. I won't be saying anything. Of course, I can do it here because this is for fun. This is talking about Job Radio. This is good time. This is good time stuff.
Yeah, but I can't leave a picture of my cat here.
I know you can't. Thank fucking God.
I know I can't.
Actually, the funny thing is, I actually really do want to live in. No, I'm not swerving everywhere. Come on now. No, I really do actually want to at some point in my life actually move out of the United States. That's not because of this. Like, I've always wanted to do that. But I do actually want to move to a country that really is a very hard country to move to for Americans. So I don't know how that'll go, but I do.
Which country would that be?
I would like to really move to Japan. That is real.
Oh wow. You're gonna see some racism there, boy.
I've been before, and I've seen some funny things while I was there, but
dirty girl school panties in the fucking vending machines, though.
I didn't see any of that going on.
I think that's a bit, yeah.
I didn't see any of that. There was a lot of things that people said I would see. I definitely didn't see any of that.
You'll just be Godzilla compared to all of them, though, because they're all fucking short.
I was so excited to go, and I'm not gonna lie, it was the best time in the world. It was everyone's so fucking nice. It was. I can't express how great it felt like to be there. It was so good. But
they're very polite, but 300 years ago they would have stuck a fucking samurai sword in the back.
Sure, they were yeah. And
after bowing to you.
And there's a whole lot that we didn't get to today that one of the big things that I really supported Trump on was the fact that he's tired of, well, he says he's tired. They say what they gotta say, but he's tired of all the pussyism, or however you want to say it. The everybody becoming soft in America. How about that?
Pussification.
There you go. Boom. There's that word. Pussification of America. And I've always said that from day one, dude. People are so fucking soft now. It is sickening.
Yeah, we don't know how to win anymore. I don't know it's all
I think the biggest difference.
You can't even lose anymore without throwing a fucking temper tantrum, can you?
Yeah,
can you?
I'm with you on the PC thing, but the difference between his version of that in mine is that I think that people should say anything but still respect others, and his message was, I get to say whatever I want and I win and I don't have to respect
And
anybody.
they can go fuck themselves.
Basically, they can go fuck themselves.
Not basically, that's a hashtag quote.
That's
true, he did see that, didn't he? I forgot about that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Where is Wake County in North Carolina?
Wake County? That sounds very. I think that's no. Is that Raleigh? That Raleigh area?
Yes, it is the Raleigh area.
Raleigh area? Sounds like Raleigh area. Yeah, that's the capital of North Carolina. If you're not familiar with the North Carolina area, they also went Hillary. They also went Hillary, as far as their county went. But yeah, they. My mom, hardcore against Hillary. She doesn't like Trump, but she voted Trump 100% all day, every day. Unfortunately, I still see posts from her on Facebook, and they are all pretty disgusting. So
you disowned your mother?
No, when she finds out, I haven't told her who I voted for, but I wouldn't doubt. She told me if I ever voted for Obama, she would disown me. I never did vote for Obama, not because of that, but because of how I felt. I never did vote for Obama, so
you didn't like the dogs. It's okay.
No, see, of course, yeah, automatically because he's black. Automatically,
racist white people.
Exactly, and unfortunately, that's literally the way the world works now. People automatically assume that's it sucks. But I am 0-3 now in elections, and I'm not happy about it.
Fuck, you should have voted for Trump.
I know, I guess so. But like I said,
I'm seeing so many people on Facebook that I saw that were pro-Trump and anti-Hillary, and now I'm seeing them complaining about Trump. I'm like, you have no fucking right to complain about Trump.
Yeah, that's
fucking.
The ones that bother me more are the ones who are like they're both the same, and then they're like, oh my god, how did you people elect Trump?
You said there was no difference
on Trump.
No, leading up to ours, Lee, you'll probably remember, we had, people were so pro-Trudeau, except for all the established, because Trudeau's too young. He's not ready yet, all this stuff. And then as soon as he's in, everyone's like, fuck Trudeau. Why is he in power? It's like, everybody liked him going in.
Yeah.
Within 100 days, it was, this guy's horrible, worst ever. It was brutal.
I don't want to...
You all liked this guy.
Okay,
what the fuck?
I have to ask, so how do people feel about him in Canada? Because I don't know.
I
know who he is. I know what he looks like. I know he punched some woman in the face.
Elbow.
He was actually another guy that a lot of people didn't think had a chance just because he was so young. But he actually connected with young people and actually got people to vote. So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of him, but I mean, he's a lot better than all the fucking vampires they had running for the Liberal Party beforehand. So,
yeah, I think he's again the kind of choice where it broke the thing a little bit, but you need to break it to fix it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's not exactly an outsider, though, right? His
he's literally the first, second generation prime minister we've had.
Yeah.
Like, you've had a couple Bushes, you had a couple Roosevelts. We've not had another person in the family. This is the second Trudeau now. So
yeah, the other second generation guys.
Those Roosevelts were like fourth cousins or something.
Or whatever. Yeah,
but it wasn't
Adams. Adams is what you're looking for. We had
Adams. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. But I meant this family. We've never had one family member have another. Yeah, it's the first dynasty, if you want to call it.
Or like the people saying that Obama's wife should run, and I'm like, no more fucking dynasties. Stop it.
I mean, that would have happened if Clinton got in, though.
Yeah, I know. That's something I was against with her. I hate that. I hate it. I want fresh perspectives and outside people to be able to run. I don't want families in charge.
I voted for Bernie the first time around.
Yeah, I supported him too.
See, the thing is, I was very strong against Bernie. I did not agree with hardly anything that Bernie said.
And that's understandable because he's an extreme. He's an extreme side of what he said. So I don't. Well, that's what I feel like. I can actually really understand why people wouldn't what Bernie was pitching. Like, that's fine, but this election, I was just like, oh god, I can't. I couldn't see the other side in this case.
It's bad in all cases because no matter who you vote for, everybody that's looking at you, if you voted for Trump, you're voting for race. If you're voting for Hillary, you're voting for fucking crooked people. And either way, it's fucking. It's not a good scenario.
Yeah, you can't win.
It's always a joke about being the lesser of two evils, but this time it really was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's true. There is a silver lining. She didn't win. That's a very small silver lining because she was awful. I can't state that enough. She is corrupt, awful, and bought in every single way. But I still stand by the fact that she wasn't dangerous, though.
She was more qualified for the job, but
you're just gonna get the same old shit that you got with Obama, which actually wasn't that bad. It's not great, but it's not like I'm worried that I'm going to die. That's
and I
how
mean,
I'm worried I'm going to die.
Not only you're not worried he's going to die because of Obama. It's not great. He's the one keeping you alive right now, for the record.
I'm pretty sure Alex Jones told us all that Hillary was a reptile. Anyway, reptilian.
No, she's a demon. She's a demon.
She's a demon. She's a reptilian.
Smells of sulfur. And now, by the way, there's rumors that Trump is going to give him a job of some sort. Oh God.
Oh, yeah. She's putting estrogen in water.
God.
The guy's gay.
Fuck.
Well,
yeah, interesting times.
I just want to say, guys, I mean, I know you've already made up your mind, but those of you who maybe haven't, I mean, just I hate that people have already decided that everything's already worst case scenario. When
to be fair, I haven't, and I think I specifically have said that, and I guess I haven't.
True.
I mean, I even said
I know somebody that has.
I said at my work, I said, hey, maybe we've been wrong about everything else. Maybe we're wrong about this one thing too. And he turns everything around. And if he does, I'll vote for him.
I stand by that too. If he does, for some miracle of a reason, if he actually goes against the grain of how he got elected and he goes back to kind of his older philosophy in life besides the raping thing, if he does a good job and he actually brings us back in some capacity, it does a better job than say even Obama did. Yeah, I am completely fine with putting aside my differences on him as long as he can do the job. Fine, great. But I have real doubts.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. But fuck, I've been wrong about everything else this time around.
But I also don't want him to do it at the expense of people, though. That's my one little caveat is if he brings us back and we're doing great, but there's still the gay community is being shit on or a minority group is being shit on, then I can't. I'm not willing to bring us back.
In that case, we're not doing great. The way I see it.
Let me ask you a question though. If he does bring back a lot of things and does improve a lot of things, but in your eyes, the gay community is being shit on, and he didn't do, and nothing happened to change, like gay marriage wasn't like taken away and all this kind of things. Like he didn't put anything forward to hurt them.
Without stuff, that's the thing, though. I mean, so much progress has been made. What we're afraid of is when we talk about bad things happening to the gay community, we're talking about things falling back. Not gay marriage, because it's hard to put that genie back in the bottle.
Well, what do you mean? What else can go? What do you mean go back?
There's a lot of protections that are currently federal protections that were done by Obama's executive orders.
Uh-huh.
Federal protections for the LGBT community. And Donald Trump did say he was going to get rid of all Obama's executive orders. So he would be getting rid of.
Do you think he read all of the executive orders?
No.
Oh, no.
I was about to say.
That's part of the danger, though, because he doesn't.
Yeah, he's just going to do it. Or he'll just listen to Pence.
Maybe,
he's like, Pence, should I do this? Yep, okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being optimistic here, but
I see your point, though. I agree. As long as I think he does a good job as president, for whatever reason, I am not opposed to voting for a Republican if they can actually do a good job overall. My problem generally with Republicans is they just don't.
I've voted for a Republican before. I'm very liberal, but I voted for Charlie Crist when he was governor because he did a fucking great job.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I don't see it happening, but
religious.
But I am in wait and see mode more than I think a lot of people on my side of the fence.
Call to arms, right here.
Oh God.
Call to arms.
And I'm not.
Religious side I don't like. That's the religious side is the part that I don't like about them. I feel like their ideology of states having the power, even though I don't agree with it, I think it probably could work under the right circumstances. But they try to shove their religious views in my face nonstop, and that's where they always lose me at the end of the day.
I am, of course, a practicing Catholic.
And I don't want to be that guy.
And Rami's the devil.
I don't believe you saw Trump. I believe you haven't seen Trump do those things, correct?
I've
heard the religious stuff.
I heard what he said to get there, and he was basically just a chameleon saying what they wanted him to say.
Or maybe he is very smart.
I think he is a smart guy. Honestly, I just think that
he is smart. He's very smart.
Absolutely.
Look at what happened. I mean, clearly,
no whatsoever.
He's a fucking genius. I mean, to get as far as he did, well, I mean, he's got as far as possible.
I would say genius. I would say smart, not genius.
I'd say a good con man. There's a big difference between
genius and I keep saying he gamed that system better than anyone else.
Okay,
you got to be smart to do that.
I will say that he, ran a campaign by pulling out people who hadn't voted for a long time, and I don't think that's gaming the system. I think he, maybe the primaries, but the general, I think he ran a campaign. He got voted in the right way. I disagree with the idea that the second part was a con.
And he worked the people. He didn't con. I don't think he didn't con. He worked the people the way they needed to be worked in order for him to get where he needed to go, and he knew what to say, what to do. Of course, there was a lot of stupid shit along the way, but
I got some golden bridges here in Nova Scotia. I'd like to sell you, Bomber.
Oh, really? Now? Oh, by the way, I was going to bring this up on another episode, but I've been reading a lot of the comments on our Jobber Radio videos here on Reckless Eating, and holy shit, a lot of people strongly dislike me because I am, quote, too optimistic about wrestling, of course, about wrestling, that is. But
it's because you hate Daniel Bryan. That's the only reason.
I don't hate Daniel Bryan.
We used to have the rule that he likes everything.
I don't like him.
He doesn't like Daniel Bryan, so that rule went away. But that used to be the rule.
And yet, Lee, they're fine with us, and we're the Canadians.
And the thing is, I don't think this is going to help my case. But I wanted to.
No, you revealed it. Most people aren't going to listen till the reveal.
You just played devil's advocate for 2 hours, and it was very optimistic at the same time. And people are just going to shit all over you, Bomber. It's going to be a fucking massacre in the comments, I think.
I'm just, and that's the thing, for real. I'm not making anything up. This is exactly how I feel. I think we should be a little more optimistic than we currently are. That's all I'm saying. Because right now,
I actually agree. I'm not as pessimistic about it as some people are, but at the same time, I'm very empathetic towards some good American friends who I know are directly in line to be affected by these things.
And I guess that's another thing. I do have to admit that a lot of this stuff will not affect me. So that is also a reason that a lot of people are probably going to tell me to shut the fuck up. And
you cis white male.
There you go. I mean, I can't argue that. I am white. I'm a male. I did vote for Hillary, but I do agree with some things that Trump stands by, and I don't know. We'll see. I hope for the best. I really do. But
I think we can all agree on that. We all hope for the best.
Well, I would hope everybody would hope for the best.
Except for Scott. Scott wants everybody to fucking burn.
Yeah, he wants to burn so he can just take over America.
Go away.
All right. Oh yeah, and that Hell in a Cell match was awesome,
Hell in a Cell match, pretty decent. Ending sucked, but
the ending killed the match. Honestly,
yeah, it did. Did you hear?
If Vince had just gone through the table, I think we would have gone. Hey, that was a pretty good match. That was a good way to end the pay-per-view.
I didn't even think they were. I didn't even know.
They didn't need to. That
Charlotte shouldn't have won. Yeah, Charlotte shouldn't have won. There's no.
I don't care about
that. I was fine with Charlotte winning.
I care more about the road than the ending, honestly. But
I don't know. They made Sasha look like kind of like an idiot.
I'm just fucking tired of being a scheduled pay-per-view. Hell in a Cell should be a match that ends a fucking feud, and it should only come every once in a while, not even once a year.
Now,
every 2 or 3 years. I agree.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I want to get to right before we close the show.
Why didn't they break the table? Go try through. You could have broken the table eventually.
She's less than 200. She's like 100-something pounds, if even that.
Yeah, they broke the other one by mistake.
I don't think it was.
It doesn't have to be one. If she had just done like a Samoan drop or some shit onto it, it would have broke.
They could have gimmicked the table. They could have.
You agree with Vince then? Because Vince, it was Meltzer was that Vince was upset because she didn't break the table. He thought it ruined the match, and I think it was because Charlotte won clean.
No, I think it's because she didn't break the table. I think Vince. If I don't know, I guess that's what Vince said. I'll take that because I don't.
Well, Meltzer was saying everyone was everyone pushed Vince in the direction of actually making that the main event. He didn't want that the main event, apparently.
Yeah.
And they all pushed towards it. And so now Vince
honestly,
is like,
I'm
right, damn it.
I don't think it was Charlotte winning. I think it was the match ended with a thud.
Yeah.
Literally, it literally ended with a thud.
It was pretty weak.
Oh,
and
okay.
the funny thing is, I didn't even know they were trying to go through the table. I thought she was just kind of just like being weird and like just throwing her over there. I didn't know she was trying to put her through the table. 100% honest. I didn't. While I was watching, I didn't know that's what she was trying to do because it didn't look.
I don't know. It was clear that she tried to put her through the table because she tried again, and I go, oh god! And then she just pinned her. And I go, what the fuck?
Well,
they could have actually tried to salvage it by having it like she's hitting the table, not going through, because you can play off of their smaller. You could have kind of worked with that, even with conditioned wrestling fans, and like call an audible and salvage that by having her hit it weird and not break and overreact like it's injured her. And there was ways.
But I think we can agree though that before the ending, the match was pretty solid.
I thought before the ending, the match was solid.
Yeah,
I still think the initial attack kind of hurt things because the crowd was super ready for it, and then they did a stretch a bit, and it sullened it a bit.
But that was definitely pure,
Yeah,
that had
that was
nothing to do
fully
with Charlotte or Sasha.
No, I just don't think it was needed. They should have just went for it and had the crowd ready.
I just don't like seeing Sasha take those fucking bumps, man. She is so fucking small, and she is so prone to getting fucking hurt. It's like just a lot of unneeded big bumps for her. She's bumping like crazy all the time.
I wouldn't say she's prone. Like,
now she is.
I would.
She's getting hurt a lot. She's getting hurt a lot. Yeah, I mean, if you get hurt once, that's fine. Twice, maybe, but she's been hurt like 3 or 4 times.
They're in this mode where they gotta prove they can do it like the guys can, so they're going just a little further than they probably should and or need to, and it's risky.
Their whole style is bullshit these days, where they have this sort of mixture of ROH and fucking early All Japan kind of mixed together kind of thing, where they're doing big bumps every bullshit fucking match that doesn't mean anything. They're doing out of the ring bump.
I don't think they're getting hurt as much as we think they are, because I think it's more, obviously this is me thinking, but I don't think they're getting as hurt as much as we think they are. I think it's just that if even the slightest injury, the WWE now is so strict and stuff. They're like, nope, you're sitting out. You're sitting out. When normally, like back in the day, they would have just been like, all right, let's do it. Let's go back in there. Let's go to the next.
No, back in the day, they came, all right, take these pills.
I can see.
I've never just look. There's some pills in that drawer. Not
Held out. I'm not saying take them, but I'm not going to look in that drawer when you go near the drawer. I agree with that, but if that's the way they're operating, then the talent shouldn't be operating the same way.
But, I mean, look, they're wearing their bodies down a lot faster than the old guard were. Sure, you look at the guys in the 80s, they were doing lots of pills, they're doing lots of cocaine and that shit. They still weren't fucking breaking their asses like these guys are every 2 or 3 times a fucking week for TV shows and host shows.
Yeah, they have more matches than they used to. Yeah. And the matches, they're going harder in every single one.
Yeah, look at Hogan. Like, Hogan can barely fucking walk. Harley Race, and their style was as safe as you could possibly get. Yeah. And now they're amping it up, and every single match is like an indie ROH high spot match. These people are going to be dead.
And dude, most of Hogan's problems are from the leg drop.
Yeah.
Just like that landing on the spine, because he always won, he'd always landed, and it has kind of fucked him over now.
And I really don't want to see people dying in the ring again. Like, I don't want to see like another fucking Misawa in Japan who made a career with awesome matches, but being dumped on his head for his entire fucking career, and then finally just died in the middle of the fucking ring.
Yeah,
just doing a normal spot.
There's a thing like that in MMA where the guys can get hit, and oh god, how can he withstand that? Eventually, your knockout card catches up, and you just start dropping. Happened to Wanderlei Silva. Chuck Liddell kind of had that. Yeah. Same idea in wrestling. They're taking hard hits as well, and it just eventually gets to a point where they're not going to survive that.
There's ways to sell a match where you don't have to do big spots all the time. You just have to re-educate the crowd into the style.
I also think it's and I think the crowd is part of the deal, because when people go out there and they don't do that because they go out and they have a match like the Miz or something like that, and sometimes I'm guilty of this. They're like, oh well, nothing happened that match. That match sucked.
I got a better example: Triple H and Jericho's Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
That was tame, quote unquote, because nothing crazy happened.
Yeah.
But that was a crazy, actually good match. Mm-hmm. But it was just in the cell. There was no cell spot, so people shit on it.
Wait,
they went up top. Triple H.
Yep.
In the Jericho
Yeah, they didn't do anything though. They didn't.
No,
They
they
just
did
did
a
a pedigree
pedigree
on
on
top.
the
Nobody
cage.
went off. No one went through
Yeah, but that's
anything.
pretty
Nobody did
safe.
anything.
2x4 on
Like, it was-
fire.
Triple H and Undertaker Hell in a Cell. They didn't really do anything nuts,
Yep.
and it was a damn fine
was an
match. It
amazing
was one of my
match.
favorite Hell in a
Around.
Cells. Yeah,
Yep.
it was really
And you
good.
Even
gotta
Triple
really-
H's stuff with Foley weren't
That was
that
wild as fuck.
nuts.
Yeah, because for the bump Foley took off the top of the cell through it was completely safe. I mean, like they made sure that was good to go. He wasn't gonna get
That
hurt.
was
Yeah,
my
But when you don't even do that, people get conditioned out of it.
I agree.
So-
I think that like Bailey and Sasha, the one that they did that Bailey won the title, that everybody goes crazy for NXT. The only spot that I didn't really like that was super unsafe was that fucking reverse. Was it the Frankensteiner where Sasha almost landed on her neck? But everything else in that match, for the most part, it was just a well wrestled match. Like they didn't have to do these insanely big spots. Like that's a good Sasha match, other than that one spot. But yeah, now Sasha seems to rely on a lot of
Actually,
neck bumps.
I didn't see that match. Did that finish the match?
Yeah, it
Okay.
did, and
Well, that's
she
good.
did actually. She clipped her neck on the mat. Thankfully, it wasn't her body didn't land enough to cause pressure to her spine. But one second, one millis. Oh god, she could have been dead right there, guaranteed dead or paralyzed. And like, yeah, they need to work a safer style. I'm with Lee on this. I think that it's about reorganizing the crowd. Now, I think they're trying to get back to that because of
luck with
the
that.
jobber matches. Squash matches.
But they need like I think instantly. If I was running the company, instantly I'd be cutting out all moves on the apron except for big shows
Yeah,
like
I agree.
WrestleMania, like
I hate
once a
that.
year. Turnbuckle powerbomb, verboten. Fucking barricade powerbomb, verboten. Don't ever see that shit
I
again.
think suicide dives and dives to the outside are unnecessary unless it's a big deal. I don't want to see Sami Zayn doing that every single Raw and every pay. Like, make it special.
It's super dangerous, and now we don't even care about it.
Yeah, it's not special
The moves
anymore.
don't do anything. They're not even transition moves. They're just moves.
Dude, remember when AJ was teasing the Styles Clash but didn't hit it for the first month or so?
Yeah.
Now it's always coming up. It was like, oh, a big deal when it would kind of happen. It's stuff like that. Hell, Hideo Itami finally hit a go to sleep this year. After teasing it made it worth something. So and that's not a dangerous thing.
They do that in Japan. They build up their finishers.
Yeah.
I mean, they have multiple finishers in Japan, of course, but they build up certain ones. Like sometimes you just don't see one busted out until the very big fucking match, and
the crowd goes apeshit for it.
Yeah, Japanese crowds go apeshit for it. That's saying something.
Yeah.
Well, it happens with Randy Orton when he goes to punt someone.
No.
When that
God,
happens, the crowd the crowd reacts
So
for
boring.
it. They're
so
conditioned and they understand that.
He is,
Shut
but
up,
people
good
do
sleep.
buy into that punt. It's true.
That's what that is.
That was one of the
Oh,
few
God.
times his character actually connected with people.
I
when
take
he-
it back. I take it back. Do the indie style matches. Just don't bring up
Oh,
Randy
shut
Orton anymore.
There it is.
Shut your mouth.
Don't worry, he's supernatural now. It's great.
So here's what. Obviously, we need to wrap this thing up because we've been going really long here. But
You had a good run, America.
had a good run, America. Survivor Series is November 20th, which our next show, if going by our bi-weekly schedule, would be the 24th. Normally we do a prediction for for the big shows like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam. I don't think we actually did one for Royal Rumble, but I want to get to where all the big four at least, we do it like a prediction competition like we have been doing. So I want to do one for Survivor Series, but we don't have a show before Survivor Series. What do we do? What do we do, guys? What do we do?
Well, most of the cards set, so
Yeah, they've already announced all the matches.
I
so
know.
I think we're good.
But I
we
mean,
can talk
so-
about it
so if
right
you haven't,
now
let's
real
just-
quick.
Run through it right now. Yeah.
I mean, right this minute? We've been going. We're
I mean,
2 hours now.
It doesn't. There's not going to be super detailed stuff. It's like, yeah, that team of 5 guys is
I'm
going to
sorry,
be
it
that
doesn't
team
matter
of 5
because
guys.
nobody's listening anymore.
Yeah, no, they stopped listening a while
Tell
ago.
you what, cut this into our show for next week.
I don't know. I think there's
Cut it
more
out.
people that care about politics than you guys think.
There's your optimism after 2.5 hours.
Now, if we did this podcast 2 weeks from
Just
now,
literally cut it and make another one out of it. For
I
next
could save you some trouble. The only match that anybody cares about is Lesnar and Goldberg.
The men's SmackDown, the men's team SmackDown
Oh,
wins.
it's good. No, they'll be good. But Lesnar
Yeah,
and Goldberg.
all those matches are gonna be great. They're always fun. They're focusing on it. I like it.
Yeah.
SmackDown men are gonna win because SmackDown needs the rub. We've been saying this since the draft. Goldberg and Lesnar. We were calling that one already.
People are only buying it for that match. They don't care
Yep.
about anything else.
The
So
rest are
that's
filler matches. All the titles are pretty much in there.
if Goldberg beats Lesnar, I have no faith in WWE completely because there's no fucking point in having Lesnar after all this time he's been built up, taking the streak and just beating Ambrose and all these people that should have potentially beaten him. There's no reason Goldberg should beat him.
But what's even built up for at this point though? Like what's next? What's left for Lesnar at this point?
Mania. I think Roman Reigns.
That's
Roman
it. Yeah.
The Roman payoff and Joe.
That's the payoff. Yeah.
Well,
and, Joe was a rumor, but now they're saying that the rumor, the updated rumor, because it changes all the time, but the updated rumor is Owens at Rumble, and then Shane McMahon at WrestleMania for some reason.
Yeah. Well, ever since he went after Orton, Shane's like, that can't stand. You can't do that, and and Shane's on the SmackDown team. Oh no, it's gonna happen in Toronto.
I think that if Lesnar has resigned, which I think he's going to because of the UFC stuff, then you're going to see him and Shane at Mania because they know they can have more Lesnar matches. But if it's Lesnar's last match, he's totally losing.
He hasn't even had his hearing yet for the drug test failures from the UFC. That's scheduled for December because they're still testing like a foot cream to see if that was what was the tainted supplement.
Yeah. I hope it's a foot cream.
I read that this week. That's what's going on right now.
Sable rubbed it on my feet.
So it looks like there's only 4 matches?
No, there's the Survivor Series matches, the tag one, the women's one, and the men's.
Oh, the
Goldberg and
women's one's not
Lesnar.
even on here. What the fuck? Let me scroll.
You got Ziggler defending against Sami Zayn from Raw.
Yeah, I see that.
Right.
You got Kendrick defending against Kalisto. And if Kalisto wins, the Cruiserweights all go to SmackDown, which makes sense with the SmackDown live show.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
So there you go. That's going to be a thing. They're all going to go over there. So that's done.
And I heard that's a really bad decision too, though, because they were talking about they're gonna film that Cruiserweight show after SmackDown is filmed, so the crowd's not gonna care even more. Like, why don't they open it up with the Cruiserweight show so they have more energy? They know that the crowd doesn't really like these guys or is not behind them yet. Start the taping with the Cruiserweight show so the crowd's energized. Nope. Good luck.
Yeah, they already booked that division.
They'd have to change the time of SmackDown, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
No, but the Cruiserweight thing's
it's
not
on
live.
the network.
Yeah, it is.
Not
live.
Yeah, it is. 205 Live.
What, the Cruiserweight thing is supposed to be live?
Yes.
Oh, really?
So, so it's just going to be another fucking 3-hour thing that I have to...
Jesus.
Oh, God
damn it's 2 hours live.
God damn it. Oh.
And then you go over to the WWE.
No! Stop it! I can't do this!
The worst part is that gets rid of Talking Smack because that's
no. Stop, please! No more!
Everything
I can't.
Live.
Oh, does President Trump save me?
There it is. I knew
I'm
it.
so happy
Still
Christ.
Raw Monday.
I can't do this.
I have to say, we really need someone to make SmackDown great again.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that all I watch now is old Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
He'll be in January. He'll be in January,
Oh
guys.
God.
He'll be on Raw on Monday.
Oh God.
Oh,
I haven't even been watching Raw. I can't. I just kiss too much wrestling.
All right.
It's killing the product.
Let's do some picks. Then if we're gonna do it, let's do it.
So Lesnar versus Goldberg's the only one we're picking because it's the only one that matters.
Versus
All right,
Goldberg.
good. Lesnar.
Let's
go.
Lesnar. Wait, you're going Lesnar?
Yes, Lesnar has to
All
win.
right. Who's next?
Does anybody think Goldberg is winning?
Yeah. I'm just gonna say Goldberg to be a dick.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't even know who that was.
Lee going with
that was Canadian Scott.
That was either Scott or Lee. I think it was both of them.
Yeah, very racist. All right. So Lee goes Goldberg. Anybody else going Goldberg? I will go Lesnar myself.
No, I don't see a reason to.
All right. I guess everybody's going Lesnar. All right. Well, there we go. Let's go to the. I think this is actually going to be the biggest match of the night. You guys think that one is Ziggler Zayn.
Ziggler.
I didn't even know it was a match, by the way. But yeah,
I was kidding.
If Zayn wins, the title goes to Raw, which I don't see.
No, because then they would have the U.S. and.
Is that like the gimmick of the Survivor Series show? Is that like things can switch to different shows now when they?
Well, if they're defending against somebody on that show,
Ziggler's like, I'll defend against the Raw guy, and then Miz is like, the fuck you will. So, yeah, he's not happy because then it goes to Raw and he's all pissed.
That should be match of the night, though. Besides, I think Lesnar and Goldberg will be fun because the crowd's going to be fun. But, I mean, match-wise, Ziggler and Zayn should be great.
Sure.
Yeah, that should be pretty awesome.
I want Zayn to win, and really he should, but I don't see the title moving.
No, I'm going Ziggler 100%.
But they will be losing the Cruiserweights, so maybe?
Two mid mid-level titles.
I don't see
Raw,
it unless they want to finally unify them. But whatever.
Now there's always DQ. Remember, there's always DQ. But I mean, they're both two kind of faces. So
they should unify them now if they're going to put the cruiserweights on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm going to say Zayn wins it.
Really?
I'm going to go for that. I'll say he takes the title.
Wow.
I'm going to say Ziggler.
I can see his point though, because if they're going to bring another title into the mix, but I mean, the SmackDown wouldn't have a mid-card title though.
SmackDown was not getting the 205. It's just airing after SmackDown.
I'm going to say
they're going to have their own show separately.
Yeah,
that's not the same.
I'm still going with Zayn. I just want Zayn as IC title holder.
Is anybody going Zayn besides Scott?
No.
Lee, you going Ziggler?
I'm probably wrong.
I'm going Ziggler.
All right.
I'm confident that I'm wrong, but I'm like, who knows? Why not?
I mean, you never know. I mean, there's like I said, there's always DQ, and that always throws everything into the predictions there.
Yeah.
But I guess since we'll just go straight into the cruiserweight title.
Oh, fucking Kalisto takes it.
Kalisto.
Moves the division.
Kalisto, everybody, really?
Yeah. I mean, it makes why wouldn't he win it if they're going to switch the thing? Unless like it would get some good heat for Kendrick is if he beats Kalisto. And then he like shows up on Raw. He gets on the mic and he's like, "What a bunch of terrible fans! I fucking hate you. I'm going to SmackDown. I made a deal."
Yeah, I want Kendrick to win. I love what he's doing.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
I see it happening with the way the show is going to be. I'm going Kalisto.
Yeah,
this is tough for me.
I'd rather Kendrick win though.
I'm just so afraid. I just hate when they do title changes so fast. And
just be optimistic about it, okay?
I'm being optimistic that they won't fucking switch the titles back and forth. A brand new title automatically fucking flipping around back and forth already, devalue it as it is. That's just me liking long title reigns. I fuck it. Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna do it, they're gonna have to. I'm gonna go Kalisto. Is anybody going Kendrick?
Yeah, I said I'm picking
Kendrick.
You
said Kendrick?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. I don't like the idea of flip-flopping the title, and I think they can... I
hate it.
But then, who fucking cares? They can easily break their own stupid rules, because he wouldn't be leaving for SmackDown, he's just leaving for a brand new show, and they can just say, because the Cruiserweights have been there, he hasn't been under contract, and so he just went to go do that or something stupid. I don't know. Come on, this is the company that one time had Jack Swagger get injured and taken off of a team, and then at that same pay-per-view, he had a match.
Yeah.
All right, well...
If Shane McMahon wins, he gets control of Raw.
They just did that with Baron Corbin. They just
did that with control of Raw.
Because Corbin was out of the team because of a knee injury, kayfabe-wise, right? And then he just wrestled on SmackDown.
Well, let's go.
No, that was what happened. He wrestled and got injured in that.
No, they was
taken out.
They were saying that he's gonna be wrestling like on SmackDown though, or something. Like he's still gonna be working it. Which is like defeats the purpose of him being out with a knee injury.
Yeah, because he was injured by Kalisto and was replaced on the team.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is that Meltzer was saying that he's still going to be wrestling on SmackDown and on Survivor Series under a different match. Which
really?
Would why
the whole point of taking him out of the match was because he was injured and his knee was fucked up.
I said they did it with Swagger though.
I don't believe he's really hurt, but
no, I know, but I mean, like he was on a team and then they kayfabe injured him, and then on that same pay-per-view he was supposed to be injured. He wrestled.
But he's going to be in a match not against the guy who injured him in Kalisto or the... Wow, that's fucking stupid.
I don't know. We'll see if that's a Meltzer thing, but we'll see if it's
everyone
right.
Just be optimistic, please.
Please, guys.
Let's just be optimistic and hope that Baron Corbin never shows up again.
Be optimistic, guys.
I second that one.
Yeah.
Make Baron Corbin go away again.
Oh, that would be helpful. All right, so let's go to...
Kane go away, by the way.
Hey, come on now.
You're an all-star. Get the show, huh?
He's doing.
I was thinking that.
Don't hate on Kane. All right, here we go. Women's division, Raw or SmackDown. Who you guys taking for the women's match?
It's got to be Raw because they have to keep Charlotte undefeated.
It's Raw.
Yeah,
well,
Raw.
she's undefeated in singles.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that
they always point that out too. No. They always point out.
She had one tag match she lost.
She lost the match with Dana Brooke.
And they always point it out too. Always point
out.
So
she'll lose this one, and she'll blame her everyone else. Yeah, she'll lose.
Yeah,
SmackDown
wins. So SmackDown then.
I'm thinking SmackDown as well.
Yeah, SmackDown wins. SmackDown wins to further the story of Charlotte losing.
Is it me or like I enjoy SmackDown's women's roster more than Raw, even though they have wrestlers that I like on Raw. I like the diversity of their characters, and it feels fresh. Yeah. I really like SmackDown's women's roster, and I can't wait. Eva Marie, come back, please.
I'm just going to say Raw. I don't really care who wins or loses. I'm just waiting for Asuka to come up and kill everybody.
As I'm looking at this graphic, which women's division will prevail? You got Charlotte up front for Raw, and you don't have Becky Lynch up front for SmackDown.
Yeah,
Is it
no,
Nikki
Nikki's
Bella?
the captain.
She's behind Bella.
Because she
Like,
beat Natalia. Yeah.
Because Nikki Bella is sucking John Cena's dick dry. So,
but I mean, how? That just
he
rubs
just
me the
explained
wrong
it.
way when the champion is behind somebody else. That
Oh,
just,
You
it's
don't
like-
rub
like-
John Cena the wrong way.
oh my god.
it's like when
Shit.
CM Punk was champion and he wasn't main eventing pay-per-views. Cena was main eventing every pay-per-view. That's just how it is. Seniority.
I do agree with that.
Cena,
so,
you already.
man.
Senior Cena.
Are you telling me everybody's pick? Did anybody pick Raw?
Yeah, I did, just to be a bitch.
You
I
know,
don't care.
I- you
Honestly,
know, no.
again, like I said, I just want Asuka to come and kill everyone for Japanese awesomeness.
Man, you know what? I do. I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna say Raw as well.
Oh,
I don't-
solidarity.
Yeah, no, I think Bailey's gonna be the sole survivor in that match. I think.
I mean, it's not a bad. I don't think there's a bad chance of it. I just think it's.
I think
Yeah.
they're gonna try to put her over here. So
That's true. These are Survivor Series matches, so maybe. But Charlotte's not going to win it either way.
yeah, no, she probably get eliminated, but
Because she'll blame everybody else for it. And,
yeah, I wouldn't be very surprised. I bet you she get. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it. I bet you she gets eliminated by count out. I'm calling it right now. Calling that.
There you go.
Calling it. All right. Anyway, let's go up to the big tag team 10-on-10 elimination match. Raw versus SmackDown. Who you guys got?
That's the one Raw one that'll win.
I
Raw
was
will
to
win
say the
that
same thing. That's the Raw one that wins.
Yeah, because they're not going to win the other two.
Yep.
And
I
that's
mean,
literally my whole reason why.
imagine they just like have Raw lose
I
it.
was really thinking exactly the same thing because I don't think they're gonna win the other two, but they gotta win one. So I
New
think
Day's
this is the
New
one
Day's
to
got to celebrate with someone and something.
I mean,
Oh
technically,
god, I'm so tired of New Day.
I guess
Me too.
technically it could be
I can't
11-on-10.
stand them.
Yeah, I don't know
still
how
like-
they're doing that with them.
win.
but
I still like New Day because I only watch Raw once a month.
Oh, see, I have to see them all the time, and their stuff is getting so fucking old now. Like it was so fresh a year ago.
Don't worry, we still got till December before they beat Demolition.
I know. I hate
So
Oh,
every-
I hope they bring Demolition into the fucking mothballs for a Legends match.
They should have them wrestle.
I really hope. When that music starts, I'll be very happy.
I'd so mark out just to see fucking Repo Man and Bill Eadie and fucking the
Repo
again.
Man. That's awesome. So who said? Did anybody say SmackDown for the tag match?
I'll take it just to be a fuck.
This guy is gonna either destroy everyone or have the worst score ever.
Well, look, what you're looking to do is win. So
That's true.
he's
Trumpet
got to do
Trumpet
this
it.
to try and win.
right.
I like that. Hey, standing out. I'm also gonna say Raw. So I think Lee's gonna be on his own this time. I think he's gonna be on his own this time. All right. So I guess the only match left is main event, right? No, wait, we did main event. I meant the
Motherfucking Lee.
the main event. Oh, not the main event. Sorry, co-main event if you want to call it that.
They're all main event.
WWE versus SmackDown. We got the champions involved. How about that? That's what we're gonna say.
WWE versus SmackDown. That's right.
Did I say that? Did I say WWE versus? Sorry, Raw
That's
versus
Raw for ya.
SmackDown. Raw
Yeah, no,
versus
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
SmackDown wins because SmackDown's got to be shown to be a strong
The
brand.
red title versus the black title.
Oh, racist.
I'm
Whoa.
just saying. I'm just
Whoa.
saying.
Whoa.
Wow.
Blacks against
Wow, guys, you are literally the worst thing in the world.
And who's the chairman? The whitest guy on the face of the fucking earth.
So you
Hitting the
got
minorities against each other.
AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton, big fan favorite there, Bray Wyatt, and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Chris Jericho, Braun Strowman, the number one guy in the world, and Seth Rollins.
I love Strowman.
I
He's
know you
getting
do.
better.
That
better
5-man
and-
match on Raw was pretty great.
I love
Oh,
how you're hating Orton and loving Strowman.
Because Strowman's fresh, and I've seen Orton shit for 10 years now. So
I mean,
I'm
I've been sick of. I feel like it's got to be more than 10 years. I feel like I've been sick of it for 10
Evolution
years.
was 2004.
Yeah,
So yeah.
No, Revolution was not 2000.
Evolution.
2004.
Oh, 2004. I thought you said 2000.
No, 2004. Yeah.
That's back when Batista had cool theme music.
So, what are you guys thinking? I think we're gonna see a little bit differences on this one.
Strowman's going to get.
SmackDown. I'm
Yeah,
going
Strowman's going to get DQ'd. He's going to lose his shit.
Yeah.
That's going to be his gimmick. I think they're going to
Remember, you got Wyatt in there too, right? So,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Wyatt's in
think
there.
they're gonna show him like dominant, and then maybe start to falter a little. He's gonna get pissed off and just gonna start beating up somebody with a chair.
I don't like that Shane's in there instead of like Luke Harper maybe or
Yeah, I don't.
or even Kane.
Or
Yeah.
even Ellsworth.
Put Kane in
Because Kane, well, he's a legit guy. Shane's
there.
not.
Or
So
I agree. Ellsworth should be on Team SmackDown.
I honestly thought that was going to be it.
I do agree with that. So
No,
okay,
he's the mascot though. He will be there. He is the SmackDown team mascot.
So
Yes,
Scott,
he's the mascot.
who are you picking?
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
This goes back to the draft talk. SmackDown's got
Right.
to be the stronger one. They still got to show that. This is their first interbrand thing. SmackDown.
Rab, who you got? Raw, SmackDown.
SmackDown for sure.
SmackDown. All right, Lee, who you got?
SmackDown's strong again.
I'll say SmackDown.
Oh, Lee's going with the group. What the fuck?
Fucking Lee.
And Matt Zion, who you got?
All right, then I'm going Raw.
Raw.
gonna say that.
Raw dogging it. I actually do think Raw's gonna win. I hope. I don't know why. A lot of people are hating on Jericho right now because he's so fucking good, but not in the ring, but just in general.
He's awesome, yeah.
I love.
He's definitely compensating for his reduced in-ring.
Yes. Holy
Chris Jericho did make Chris Jericho great again.
The Raw talk after Hell in a Cell was one of the best things I ever watched. It was him and Owens were fucking hilarious on Raw. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but Raw talk was fucking great. If you haven't seen it, I don't know if they got it on YouTube or not, but no, for real. Go watch that one segment, just them. Skip to them and watch the Raw talk with Owens and Jericho. It's definitely worth your time. Promise. It's fucking good.
People underestimate how fucking great he is. I mean, talking about watching Smoky Mountain Wrestling, this is a guy I watched a week ago wrestling with a broken arm and just fucking gushing buckets of blood and put on a great match. I mean, the guy's been great forever.
And so I am picking Raw as well. So I think that's 6 matches, right? 6 matches. Was there a kickoff match, or was that probably going to be? That's probably going to be the Intercontinental title match. Probably.
Probably.
No, it's gonna. Oh yeah. You. I don't know if you heard. It's gonna be 4 hours like SummerSlam.
I did hear that. It is a 7:00 start time. They got to have another match. All right,
I just remembered that, and I realized I didn't think Matt knew. So
yeah.
Jesus, they could do a whole fucking cruiserweight tournament right then.
Let's fuck it. Let's make it 6 hours and have 12 rings.
That's how long SummerSlam seemed 6 hours long.
They should do a cruiserweight elimination Survivor Series thing, Ben.
That'd be cool.
You know what? I guarantee you they do, and that's going to be the kickoff.
I would be in for that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll throw it into the chat, and if we have to add.
Yeah, I was
another
about to
match
say, if there is a new match, we'll add it and we will count it. You guys obviously don't hear it here, but we'll count it and then we'll give the results whenever we do it, and we'll reveal who picked what. But
dude, if there's cruiserweights, the good guys win.
Oh, the good guys. picking the faces. I'm picking Drew Gulak, by the way. Any team he's on, I'm picking Drew Gulak. So fuck it, I don't care. Just let you know that little tidbit. But
whatever has a Canadian team, because they're in Canada.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 6. Okay, I think I got everybody's picks. Holy shit, I didn't pick any SmackDown wins. I picked all Raw for the Survivor Series. Oh shit, there we go. I'm the only person that did that. Okay, well, fuck it, whatever.
I mean, did anyone else get the same as each other? Does anyone have an identical? Do any two people have
nobody.
I don't think so.
Nobody has the same picks. No,
There
will be.
There was always one deviation, I think. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a different pick. I will say it's surprising that I'm the one that goes all red here, and you guys decide to put a little blue into your picks.
Not surprising at all.
How election-y of you.
Just saying, guys.
Someone hates the black side.
Call it down the middle. Oh, jeez, come on now. Just because I went for the red title.
By the way, Matt, in the show notes when you put this up in Reckless Eating, you might want to put a timestamp for the wrestling talk starting, just in case.
Yes.
Just saying.
I remember talking to a YouTube staff and about like how many people actually look in the description of any YouTube video, and it's like less than 1%, like 1%.
I know.
I'll do it though. I'll do it for you because I love you.
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
Well, all right, guys. We went. This is definitely. I think this is probably our longest show we've ever done. But hey, this is one of the biggest things that's ever happened in.
Survivor Series.
I mean, Survivor Series is always the biggest series of the year.
I'm
History's
talking
made.
Hell in a Cell. History was made, guys.
Yeah.
Women's.
And the ladies didn't bleed.
It sucks because there was other things I want to talk about with that. But hey, we'll get into that later on. Maybe, doubt it. But
no, we're never going to talk about.
You're right. We won't. I'll just say I enjoyed the show overall. I'll just say that. But all right. Anybody have anything to say to close the show?
No, go away. Get some
Immediately
sleep.
leaving the country.
Yeah,
I'm going to work here in about 3
But
hours.
I will be back.
I think I'm as tired of talking to the listeners as they are of listening to us. So
I think so.
You fool! They're not listening anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
We could
So
say
optimistic
whatever.
of me.
You know what? All the listeners can go fuck themselves.
Don't listen to him. Don't
I
listen
know what you're
to that.
saying. I know, very presidential of me, but hey.
Yep, that is kind of presidential of you. But all right, well, guys, we plan on doing an episode right after SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Jesus Christ! As long as we can make everything work out, because it is close to holiday Thanksgiving for America. You guys up there already had your Thanksgiving apparently, but
Right.
but
When's your Thanksgiving?
October, whatever.
Yep.
Like the third weekend in October.
What
Yeah.
do you do the same stuff that we do for ours, or?
Eat turkey.
No, we kill Eskimos and put them out on ice floes.
I don't believe that to be true.
Lee, I
feel like
didn't tell him that last time. You were giving away the secrets.
Wow.
They were bound to find out when they all move up here anyway. So.
That's true. We got to get them ready. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I will move. Hey, I am
I've been to
eligible, skilled worker.
I've been to Canada.
For the record.
So, you know, I've been to Canada, so it was nice. I will say that it was nice.
I'm a skilled immigrant. I can get express entry.
It was also clean.
You can.
Maybe just America's dirty. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. That's the theme.
Well,
here.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you have listened to the full show, wow, you're pretty insane. But
Yeah, you're stupid.
Yeah,
You're straight stupid.
there you go. I wouldn't go that far. I think the word of the day
You know,
is
I usually
optimism.
listen to all
Be
these
optimistic.
after
Be
I speak
optimistic.
on them because I like the sound of my own voice, clearly.
Mhm.
But even I'm not going to listen to this one. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But I think in like a year from now, I think you guys are gonna sound pretty crazy, or I'm gonna sound crazy. Either way.
I know. Picking Goldberg. Jeez.
Yeah. Hey, I'm picking Brock. I'm picking Brock. But
I'm
anyway,
the one guy.
Yep. Here we go, guys. We're out of here. Thank you for listening. No matter how long you did. Here we go. I'm gonna stop the recording soon. So goodbye.
Make America Canada
Just make
again.
it and make the hurting stop.